are back. Welcome in, everybody. For those of you guys who are watching the recording, welcome in. We right back to it, you know. I actually need to adjust this at some point. I could probably do it right now. Let's do this. Screen mirroring, display settings, and then we will do arrange this, and we'll drag that over there. Okay. Bam. Okay. Okay, cool. Perfect. All right, welcome in, everybody. Let's go ahead and make sure this is all set here. Okay, so in today's live call, okay, we're gonna do a little bit different, right? We're gonna kind of do a class. 1 second. So we're gonna actually do kind of like a class today. And what I mean by a class is kind of talk about some things that I've personally been noticing in the market, things that I wish I would have kind of known ahead of time, things that I don't really hear too many people talk about. So we're gonna basically be covering all these things. Yes, this is options trading related. So everything that I'm going to talk about today is options trading focused. However, some of these principles can still be used in other industries. So whether it's futures, whether it's Forex, whatever other industry. You know, one of the things that I always try to remain focused on when you guys are trading is always looking at the bigger picture. So here's the time frames that you should be using that will pretty much be the best depending on the type of trader that you are. Okay, so if you are a scalper, okay, like what exactly is a scalper? A scalper is a person who is in and out of a trade. You're in a trade no longer than 10 to 15 minutes, right? You're quick in and you're quick in and out, right? If you're a scalper, you should be using lower time frames, right? So stuff like, you know, 1 minute, a 3 minute, a 15 minute, those are going to be, you know, the best for scalpers, okay? If you're a person who is day trading, which, you know, personally, I really love day trading, but I do believe day trading and swing trading plus leaps, like I feel like you got to kind of work your way up from one to the next, right? And what I mean by that is like when you get really good at day trading, you'll start seeing the significance in swing trading. When you get really good at swing trading, you'll start seeing the significance in leaps, which is basically holding a contract or holding a trade longer than a year, right? And then, you know, on the opposite end, right, as a leap trader, you're gonna look at, hey, long-term investing is really the best route. So when you guys are like in the trading space, don't look at it as like there's only one way. I can only day trade. I should only be getting in and out of trades every single day, because different trades are going to present different scenarios. And the reason I say this and the reason it's so important is because a lot of people don't really talk about it. You know, there might be a move that you see on a lower time frame and it matches on the higher time frame. So, you know, it would make more sense for you to stay in the trade longer if it makes more sense on the higher time frame. And this is why it's so important to, again, look at the bigger picture. So when you're looking at the bigger picture, what I mean by this is looking at stuff like the daily time frame, looking at the weekly time frame, looking at the monthly time frame. So, you know, if you're a day trader, the ideal time frames that you want to use is going to be the daily, the 4-hour time frame. So you got the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame, and then the 5-minute is primarily for my entries, right? So because I primarily focus on day trading, right? Those are the time frames that I primarily look at. So the daily time frame, I'm looking at overall market structure between the daily and the 4-hour. I'm saying, hey, are we in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend? Where's my major levels of support? Where's the major levels of resistance? I find those on the daily time frame. But when it comes to me getting into a trade, it's going to be very difficult for you to execute a trade or get into a trade off of the hourly, right? I drop down to a 5-minute, and as long as the 5-minute setup matches what I see on the hour and on the day, that is my focus. I think the problem sometimes is when you guys are trading. Yo, shout out to Kareem for the badge. Shout out to Jay for the badge. Thank you guys. If you guys are just coming in, if you have not said a single word, say what's up in the chat real quick. I'm gonna shout some of y'all out. But a lot of times, like when people are trading, there's so many emotions involved, right? That, you know, when you're on those lower time frames for too long of a period, you start executing based off what you see on the lower time, and it does not match what you had seen in the beginning of the day or what you see on the higher time frames. Yo, shout out to actually, let me pull this up over here real quick, and I'm gonna continue explaining this. Right now, we're going over the different time frames that I would recommend to the individuals who are trading. Let me actually pull this up over on this monitor here. And we'll do that, and then we'll bring this back up here, okay? log in. 1 second, guys. Send code. Let's see here, and then we got 049705. Okay. Okay, so we should have the chat up now, so I can see everything you guys are saying. I should be able to see everything. Yo, shout out to Retro. What's up, Aqua? Shout out to Danye. Okay, so let's get back to what I was talking about, right? Let's pull this up over here. Okay, so when you're looking at the higher time frames, right? Let's actually rewind today, and I'm gonna show you guys the trade that I took today. I was gonna trade live, but I haven't really been feeling well these last few days, unfortunately. So I didn't end up trading live today, but I did alert it out to the community as well. So I'm gonna just break down the trade itself. So we're gonna rewind this on the daily time frame, and I'm gonna walk you through what I look at on a higher time frames and how I use it to match the lower time frame. So watch this, right? So we're gonna do this, okay? And I can leave these purple lines just so you guys know this is where I have marked out during pre-market. So when I'm looking at Google, right? So right now we're looking at the ticker symbol Google, right? If you guys are watching, you know, the charts right now, you can always see any ticker that I have up by looking over here on the right, right? So you have Google, and then you have the price of where it's at, so on and so forth. And right now we're looking at the daily time frame, okay? Minis or micros? I don't know what y'all talking about, right? So in this scenario, right, if I'm looking at Google, this was the trade that I ended up taking today. Currently it's down 20%. I do think that we'll get a continuation tomorrow and it'll end up going green. But I wanna show y'all how I walk from the higher time frames down. Is that okay with y'all? Is that okay with y'all? We got 159 people on the check-in. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Right now we about to give y'all some crazy games. So sit back, leave some likes, and stay engaged, okay? Shout out to Jay, let's get it. Okay, so when I'm looking at the daily time frame, right, the first thing I have to notice is where I'm at on the chart, right? Like just start talking to yourself when you're going through a chart during your pre-market analysis, or you know, during the night before, because a lot of times I'll look at the charts the night before. But here's another tip. Most of my setups come in the morning, and the reason that I did this, right, there was times where, you know, when I was first getting started, excuse me, I would chart at nighttime. This is something I don't feel like anyone talks about this, but like if you're not trading futures or forex where you can take a trade overnight, or you can take a trade, you know, at night, as an options trader, you need to be doing your due diligence during pre-market. Why is that important? Because price changes overnight. So between the times of post-market, so let's say last night, whatever I charted last night is completely invalid come this morning because we have pre-market. Pre-market is, you know, from 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. all the way up to about 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So this is the time frame that whales or institutions are able to buy and sell their shares. Everybody tracking me? Comment track down below if you're tracking me. Okay. So between the times of 5 a.m. okay, to 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, okay, this is the time frame that the institutions are able to offload shares. So whether they're buying shares, right, or whether they're selling their shares, this is the time that they can do that in lump sums. So the reason this is important to chart during the pre-market time frame is because at night, everything is going to be different in the morning. So you're doing basically double the work. So here's what I would switch, right? If you're a trader and you've been trading for a while, or you're a little bit newer, do your back testing at nighttime. What is back testing? This is when you go back in time, you use the rewind button on TradingView, which is up here at the top right, right? You go back in time and then you go look at how the market looked then. What was the market structure? Where would I have gotten into the trade? If I would have taken this trade, like playing it out like a paper trade. If I took this trade right here, would it have worked out for me? Okay, so all of my back testing and my studying, this is another thing. I do a lot of studying. So I'll go read up on companies. I'll go read their balance sheets. I'll go read their cash flow statements, right? As much as trading is about making money, it's also about you understanding how these companies make money. Does that make sense? In order for you to get really good at trading, you have to also understand the tickers that you're trading. And you know, in the stock market, when you're trading options, right, it's different from futures. You may not need to know all that, right? If you're trading ES, or you're trading NQ, or you're trading CAD AUD, right? If you're looking at Forex or something like that, you don't really necessarily need to know these things. But this is why, like, for a lot of people, there's not too many options traders who like teach these types of lives on at least TikTok from what I've seen, right? And I think it's important to do so because different industries trade differently. You're going to have a different level of resources that you can use, that helps with your overall confidence or help with your bias when you're looking at a trade. So I say all this to say, right, do all of your studying at nighttime. So what do I do at nighttime? I'll go look up companies that I'm not too familiar with. So if you're not familiar with the company Oracle, what products do they sell? Who's their CEO? What is their company moat? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? How much debt do they have? I'll go write all that stuff down in a notebook. And so for my notebook, I have my journal right here, but I have a note-taking notebook that's in my room because that's where I do my due diligence when I'm, at night, just not charting, but just doing my own due diligence and looking at what companies I like and, something I might want to put onto my long-term account, right? So I say all this to say, study at nighttime. Do all of your analysis though. Like, think of it like this. Whatever you plan on trading, you need to wait until the day of to trade it, right? Or to even look at it, right? And the reason I say that is, again, because pre-market, the price is going to change. So everything you charted last night is completely invalid now because prices moved already. Is that making sense? Comment makes sense if everything's clicking right now, right? I want to make sure I'm not losing too many people. And shout out to all the traders in here. When you chart, do you search tickers until you find one that fits your model? We'll talk about that as well. If you guys want me to, I can cover that too. Basically how I find my setups, I can go over that. Okay, good. Making sense. Okay, perfect. If you have not engaged in this live at all, I would love for you to comment make sense down below if you're tracking me. And if you guys have questions, you can feel free to always ask questions. All right. How's your day going? It's going pretty good, sir. JP, how about you? Okay. So here again, starting off on the higher time frames during pre-market. Okay. So at the pre-market, so for me, I'm waking up at 6:30 a.m., 7 a.m. Eastern time. You can wake up at whatever time makes sense for you. What I would tell you is give yourself about a 30-minute or 45-minute buffer time. And what I mean by that, right? You want to give yourself, like, let's say the market opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. For me, I'm in Georgia, so it's Eastern time, right? So the market opens up at 9:30. You should be up no later than 9, right? And you should already be at your computer looking at the charts by 9. Because it'll take you all of maybe 30 to 45 minutes to be able to do your due diligence on what you're going to trade today, right? But you have to have enough time to do it or you're going to be rushing. And then the market opens and now you're unprepared. So now you're making decisions based off of not being prepared. And now, you're making, inaccurate decisions or trading things that you don't have any business trading, right? So the first thing that I'm looking at, right, during my pre-market is, I'll show you guys how I find particular stocks that I trade. Because again, like, I don't feel like I need to gatekeep any of this from y'all. Like, I mean, shit, information's out there, right? I'm just giving it to you, and hopefully you leave a follow button. Hopefully you leave a like if you guys are liking it, right? So in this scenario, I'm looking at the daily time frame, right? And what I'll end up doing is I'll just delete the purple lines for right now, and then I'll show you guys. So why am I looking at the daily first? Well, I need to get an overall bias, or not even a bias, but I need to understand overall market structure. And from this trend that we have here, we are currently in an uptrend. Right? So we are making higher highs and higher lows. If we keep going back and looking left, one thing you'll notice, and it's a good sign when you're trading, is when you start having consolidation periods, like in a range, like from 256 to 236, about $20 range, Google was pretty much consolidating in this area for a period of time before we broke out and made new highs. And then once you broke out and you made these new highs, you consolidated for a bit in a range, and then you broke out higher. And then what do you see right now? Consolidating in the range, but nothing goes up forever. So, how would I look at this, especially with me trading the Strat? And even if you don't trade the Strat, how could you use regular support and resistance to help you understand where can price go? Okay. So the first thing that I'm looking at personally, I'll delete this line right here. Okay. The first thing that I'm looking at is where price is currently at and where it closed yesterday. So here is yesterday's price action, right? The market had opened at 320. We ended up closing at 323 on Google, right? So we all know how to read a candlestick, right? Comment yes if so. We should all know how to read a candlestick. If you haven't already, I have a free video on YouTube you guys can check out as well, okay? So with that being said, okay? Okay, good. Also, another thing, today is Cyber Monday. For the first time ever, I'm running a sale on my Discord trading community. So if you want to trade live with me, if you want me to pretty much hold your hand throughout the entire process, I trade live here as well, but you get kind of like the early access during the pre-market calls, the breakdowns, all that stuff. If you guys want access to that, it's 50% off our monthly. So our monthly is normally $150 a month. Right now you can enroll for $75 a month and you'll get full access to everything. This expires tonight at 12 Eastern. So make sure you guys tap in if you guys want to learn and get help from me personally. Okay. So with that being said, first off, I'm looking at the previous candles. So the first thing that I'm kind of noticing here, right, is these wicks to the upside. So you have this wick here after retesting 329, not even retesting, but testing 329 right here. And the links are in my bio, guys. You guys can click the link in my bio. It'll say Cyber Monday sale. You click on it and you'll be able to sign up. Okay. So the first thing I'm taking note of is the wicks. So we have a wick to the upside, wick to the upside, wick to the upside. This is showing me that buyers and sellers are pretty much in a battle, right? So every time price broke out higher, sellers stepped back in and pushed it a little bit lower. And then the thing that I wanted to see today, right, is how we ended up holding this level right here. And the reason I wanted to see this is because this level right here is a support level. So in the past, we have pulled back to here and we bounced from the same exact level to the cent. I mean, this is literally to the cent. So this is a major level that I want to watch. So when I looked at Google today, the first thing I'm looking at is, hey, number one, we had already been on a very, very strong uptrend. But the second thing I'm looking at is the gap. So the market pretty much, or Google pretty much gapped up and then it continued in this direction. So basically a gap is when, you know, there's pretty much no sellers in this space. There was no red candles that have covered this space here. So it leaves an open gap. And when you have an open gap like that, price will sometimes come back through the gap and fill it, right? So what do I mean by that? Price was here, right? So we closed down here. We end up opening up here. So this is a gap from here to here. We continued moving, creating a bigger gap, right? So this green line, this is Lux Algo. This is the indicator. You guys can use it out, check it out. It marks out your gaps and order blocks and things like that. But it's important to see the gap because I want to know where can price come back through. Like if price broke under this line right here, 316.79, the chart, right, based off of what I'm looking at, the next price we can pull back to is 309.53. How did I find this though? Well, if I just look at this candle right here, this was the low of this day. So this is how I found one of my targets. How did I find the second target? Well, this is the fill of this gap. So when price pulls all the way back down here, this is when the gap is completely filled, right? So as I'm looking at this, right, and let me put this on sleep mode so we don't keep hearing too many of that. Okay. So as I'm looking at this gap, and as I see price at this, pretty much like a doorway almost, right? Like this is the door into the gap. And a lot of times when price is coming back through a gap, it'll move with a lot of momentum and a lot of volatility, okay? So what are these lines on my chart? These are all my targets, right? If I'm looking for calls, I know where price can go. If I'm looking for puts, so let's say price breaks under here, I know where price can go. So this is the daily time frame. Does everyone understand why I look at the daily time frame? I look at overall market structure on the daily, but most importantly, I look at key levels. Comment yes if you understand, if everything is making sense. These lines are just support and resistance on a daily time frame. That's it. Some of them are in a 4-hour, but you can use both. As a day trader, you should be marking out support and resistance on the daily and the 4-hour. As a swing trader, you should be marking out support and resistance on the daily and the weekly. As a leap trader, a person who is sitting in a trade longer than a year, you should be marking out levels on the monthly, the 3-month, and the 6-month. Make sense? You ever do credit spreads on SPX? Not too much. I've tried it before and it's worked, but I don't do it too much. It's too volatile to kind of play around with too many spreads, especially with the price of the contracts. Okay? Can you tell us the difference between each of them when you're done? Yes, I got you, Kay. Just remind me once I'm done with this, okay? So let's now go over and drop down to a lower time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, this is what I see, okay? So on the 4-hour time frame, when you guys are like doing top-down analysis, remember you have to start at the top first, right? The larger the time frame, the higher the time frame, the more important it is. So the daily is going to be more important than the 4-hour. The 4-hour time frame is going to be more important than the 1-hour. The 1-hour time frame is going to be more important than everything under it. Is that making sense? So this is why it's called top-down analysis. You start out with the best You basically start off with the highest time frame based off of the way that you trade. So if you're a day trader, you'd be starting off on the daily or the weekly, and you work your way down because that's from a level of importance. You're working from the top to the bottom. Make sense? Let me get 50 yeses in a row if that makes sense. All right. I use Webull personally. You guys can check out Webull. I don't have actually I do have an affiliate link, but I mean, y'all can just pretty much go grab it for yourself. Okay. Okay, perfect. So now let's look at the setup right here, right? So this is on the 4-hour time frame. And on the 4-hour time frame, basically what I do is I look for ideal entries. Like, where would I ideally want to get into this trade? Where would the market structure on the 4-hour change at? Like, if it's in an uptrend on a 4-hour, where would it switch into a downtrend? This is where I'm kind of identifying on the 4-hour time frame, right? So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, you know, we had these higher highs and higher lows, but right now we're kind of in a range. But it kind of looks like we're creating higher or a high, right? A lower high, a lower high, a lower high. So on a 4-hour time frame, it looks a little bit different from the daily, right? Because it's more noise that you're seeing. The lower in time frames you go, the more noise you get, the more candlesticks you see, right? Which is why it's better to do top-down analysis. Start from the top, work your way down, okay? So in this scenario, when I'm looking at Google, the reason that I actually took this trade today was not only the daily time frame, but because of the gap, and we just talked about it. So what I had seen on the 4-hour time frame is this candlestick right here, where we had broke the previous candle's high and the low. So what does that look like? If we zoom in, this candle right here, this purple one, broke this high of the previous candle, so I'll mark it out, and we broke this low. And what this is showing me is volatility, right? So a lot of people, you know, they talk a lot about market structure, right? Where people tell you, how many of y'all have heard of this? Price only moves in 3 directions, right? And shout out to Alex Strat Trader. He talked about this on Twitter. How many of y'all have heard, and I want you to just be honest, how many of you have heard that price only moves in 3 directions? Comment me down below. I want to see all the me's in the chat. The interesting thing about this statement is, while this is true, there are different ways that price reacts to levels that can sometimes invalidate something. So what do I mean by that? Yes, the market is going to either go up, it's either going to go sideways, or it's going to go down. Okay? Those are the 3 options. But no one talks about when price goes up and then it sinks back lower and closes lower. That's different, right? It's a different scenario. You know, if you're reading candlesticks, right? And again, this is why, you know, understanding how to read a candlestick is so important, and understanding wicks and understanding just the body of a candlestick is so important. If I see price come up and then it swings back lower and closes lower, that is showing me that bulls were in control and it was taken by the bears. So buyers were in control and then it got taken by the sellers. So there are multiple other options that happen. Price can go up, pull back and close lower. Price can go down, get bought right back up and close higher. So those are other scenarios that could happen in the market. So when people only say the market either goes up, it goes down, or it goes sideways, well, there's things where what happens when you get to resistance? Price rejects resistance. It rejects the ceiling. It rejects the highs. What happens when you get to support? It rejects the floor. It bounces off of the floor. It bounces off of support. Make sense? Are we kind of catching the drift? Are we kind of catching what I'm saying? Right? So this candle right here is showing me volatility. Okay? And basically what I mean by that is this candle price action broke the high of the recent candle and the low. So why is this important? This candle right here is an important candle because it's called an actionable signal, right? And if you haven't watched the Strat video, I have a free one in my bio. There's also a free video on my YouTube as well, so you guys can pretty much check out, you know, all this stuff for free. And again, we are running a Cyber Monday deal on the trading Discord, TSA. So if you've traded live with us in one of these before and you want to tap in more, it's currently 50% off the monthly, so it's $75 a month as opposed to $150 a month to be in TSA. You can click the link in my bio to check it out. Okay. So what I mean by an actionable signal is I'm gonna mark out the high and the low of this purple candle. Okay, and this is my range. If buyers are stepping in, I want to see them take control and get back above 319.85. If we break under 316 or even just 314.44, right, I will be looking for a downside move. And the reason I will look for this downside move is because we have a gap downward at 304. So if I look left, we have this open space here that has not been filled. So let me actually walk you guys through the exact trade I took right here. So this is what it looks like at pre-market. So this is how my setup looked like. And then I'm gonna actually turn off Lux Algo so you guys can pretty much see it with a little less noise. Okay, so this is what my setup looked like during my pre-market. So we're gonna go ahead a couple times. So watch this, right? So Google opens, okay, and it breaks this low of day down here, okay? And one of the things that I'm identifying, right, is if we did this on the 4-hour time frame, obviously there's gonna be a lot of volatility watching Google. So the next thing I'm waiting for is confirmation. So here, let me actually show you guys my entry. This is where I took my entry at, right here. Dog, this is so cool to see, man. I'm glad you like it, bro. So this is my entry right here. Why was this my entry? Because we had broke back through pre-market lows, and I was anticipating us breaking the lows of the day. So this is, I would say, is a little bit of an earlier entry. But let me actually walk you through my mindset and how I took the trade and why I took it, right? When I took this setup, right, and I took this trade back under here, my goal was to look at 309, which is this key level down here, this blue line, and then 304 being targets for this week. Why? What was the other reason that I was a little bit more confident taking this trade? Because QQQ was also selling off in the beginning of the day. So in the beginning of the day, we had a very steep pullback in QQQ, which is the tech sector. Google was in the tech sector. So when I seen this pulling back, right, I also looked at Google and said, hey, this looks more bearish than most of the other tech companies. So when I'm looking at this and I'm using QQQ as kind of like a roadmap or like a compass, I'm saying, hey, if QQQ is bearish and we break under this key level, Google could end up selling off more because it looks more bearish than all the other tech companies. So if you look at like the tech sector, like Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, so on and so forth, right? Apple broke all-time highs today, right? They're at 283, 284, something like that. But Google ended up selling off today. So in the tech sector, there's going to be different tech companies that do different things, right? They don't all have to move along with QQQ, right? Yo, shout out to my boy E. What's good, bro? Hope all is well. So, you know, when I'm looking at these scenarios, I'm just using QQQ and SPX, the overall market, ETFs, right? I'm using them as compasses. And then whatever's in that compass, whatever's in that particular sector, I'll just kind of pull the ones that look the weakest or the strongest, and I'll trade those. So here's what this setup looked like, right? For me personally today, I ended up taking this setup right here, this entry here. I ended up saying this one here, but it was actually here. This 3-2. So this was my entry for puts. Now what ends up happening is price pulls back, and this is so important, right? This is so important. I want y'all to listen to this. This is so important. When you take your trades, right, you have to be able to manage your risk. That's the most important part, right? Like, you know, as long as you have good risk management, what I mean by risk management is you're risking, you know, $1 to bring back $2, risking $1 to bring back $3, $1 to bring back $4, which is profitability, right? And the reason this is important is because you know where you want to get out of the trade if it's going your way, but you also have to keep in mind when things aren't going your way, how do you end up reacting then? So during this trade, when I took this setup, right, I took puts here, price immediately bounced and started going higher. And the first thing that I thought to myself was, could I have got a better entry? Right? I'm not being too analytical or anything like that. I'm just like, hey, could I have gotten a better entry? And I look left and I say, okay, yeah, I could have gotten a better entry, right? But the thing I want to remind you is if you take a trade, like for me, right? When I took Google, I had a 50% stop loss. So basically that means when my trade, let's say I went into the trade with $1,000. If my trade gets down to $500, right? If I lose 500, it cuts the trade. It cuts the trade completely. So the reason that I do this, right, is because I need to make sure that I have proper risk management. I'm going to risk 50% of whatever I trade with, whatever size I use of my account. This is where I'm okay with losing. But if I win, here's where I want to get out my trades, right? So I'm looking for 100%, 200%, 300% plus on a particular trade. You have to have good risk management. Before you enter a trade, you have to have the number that you're okay with losing. You have to have a number you're okay with losing. So you had a stop loss. Exactly. So sometimes I trade with no stop loss, right? Where I size for 0. Other times if I'm trading with more size, like because of my account size, if I'm trading with more size, sometimes I do have to have a stop loss. So you won't lose 1,000 if the company goes down 1,000. Well, not necessarily, but I kind of get what you're saying. You're basically saying, right, or a better way for me to put it, right, is if I have a stop loss, I know exactly how much I'm willing to lose, and I'm telling a brokerage, hey, get me out when I'm down this much. That's what a stop loss is. Comment got it if you got it. Let me see. We got 381 people in here right now. I need to see at least 50 got it in a row. What's your risk to reward? Ideally, I look for a 2-to-1. And the reason I look for a 2-to-1 personally is they're not only easier to hit, but it allows me to leave runners, which is where I get those bigger returns, which is in runners, which is something I'm going to talk about as well in today's live. Okay, thank you guys. Y'all are so active. I really appreciate it. Shout out to all 400 people in here. Haven't been on the live in like a week, so I'm kind of getting myself back over a cold. So we gonna keep moving though. Okay, so in this scenario, right, my stop loss never got hit. So even with price pulling back, my stop loss was at 50%. And what's crazy is when this price action happened right here, from this move, from me getting in down here to all the way up here, I was down about 45% on the trade. So what does that mean? What am I talking about? I took the trade down here. It worked against me, right? It's going against the direction that I'm trading in. And the thing is, I have my stop loss and I'm saying, hey, and this is important, don't touch the trade until the trade stops you out. Stop micromanaging stuff. Like, the reason you suck at trading is because you micromanage things. Just let everything happen. Once you put the orders in, once you take the options trade, right? Let's say you take the trade and you have a stop loss and then you have your targets. Stop touching stuff. You're either gonna get, like, the way I trade is I'm gonna get alerted on one or the other. Either my trade didn't work or my trade did work. And that's the only scenario it should be. Stop touching stuff. When you start moving your stop loss around or averaging into the trade, as opposed to just sitting back, controlling your emotions and letting the trade do what it needs to do, that's why a lot of the times you make really rash decisions or big decisions that end up biting you, and then you keep thinking about it day after day after day. Oh, this mistake, and it ends up trickling down into the rest of your trading. So the reason this is so important is because I want you to observe the resilience that I had. When price rejected against me and it came back up here, I could have said, oh, I'm down 45%. I'll just close out the trade right now. My risk to reward, my risk management, when I took this trade, I said, I will let the trade stop me out. It'll automatically happen. Either I'm down 50% and it closes out my trade for me, right? Or my trade is going my way. In this scenario, I open up my trade. I'm at the gym. I'm working out, right? Because I took the trade earlier in the day. I went to the gym, was letting it cook. It was working against me. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm working out. I don't really care, right? I'm not having too many emotions attached, which is important. I do primarily day trades, but I do a couple swings here and there too. So this trade right now, I'm swinging it. I'm actually still in this position, and I'm going to talk to you about why it was so important that I held the position. But I want to first talk about this because a lot of you are trading and you're adjusting things. When you have a plan, don't deviate from it. Like, that's the hardest part about trading, is not deviating from the thing that you know you should be doing. It's like life, right? All of us know we want to be in a certain area in life, but you know also that you aren't doing the things that it takes for you to get there. And you know when you're not doing it. So it's like a hard reality that you got to really be focused on and be understanding of, because there is stuff that you know you should be doing, that you need to be doing, that you choose not to do. So in this scenario, all I'm asking you as a additional trader or a person who likes to teach what I have learned, right? All I ask of you is, when you build a plan, stick with it. Stick with it. So when I took the trade here and it reversed against me, my trade is down 45%, right? And I'm like, damn, I might get stopped out. If I get stopped out, it is what it is, right? I was already okay with the amount of money I was going to lose in the trade. So if I get stopped out, hey, I lose X amount of money. Cool. I move on to the next. This is how I trade on a day-to-day basis. I know exactly how much I'm okay with losing, and I trade with that, right? So in this scenario, which is crazy, I never got stopped out. I didn't micromanage it. I didn't touch anything. I didn't average in. I didn't buy more. I didn't do none of that. I just let the trade play. And I closed my phone back out and I said, hey, I'll get an alert on my phone from Webull when they close my trade out. Right? And I never got the alert of them closing it out. And what ends up happening is the rest of the market ends up selling off midday. So mind you, I was down 45% here. I come back home, I go grocery shopping, I do all that stuff, right? And I open up my phone and I see this setup right here. And I see prices flushing and coming back in my direction. So now I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, wow, we just swept liquidity, right? We just swept the upside, right? So all these people who are buyers, all those bulls who were thinking that we were going to break out, they ended up getting faked out. And now there's profit taking going into tomorrow, right? But most importantly, there is more bearish action going into the close. And if I'm already a bear, right? Think about it. I took my entry here. Price pulled all the way back here at close, right? By the time the market closed, we were already back around in this area. So the lesson that I want you to learn, I know it's a little bit longer than I would have ideally liked it to be, right? But hopefully you guys are kind of like catching the lesson. Stop micromanaging the trade. Let your stop loss do what it needs to do. You either get stopped out of the trade or your target gets hit. I have alerts on both of them. So the only time I open up my phone is either, hey, I'm getting alerted on me losing the trade or winning the trade. But there should be no emotional reaction to either one of them. That's one of the best pieces of advice I can give you. The reason I say don't have any emotions attached to the outcome is because when you start allowing your emotions to be attached to the outcome, you start changing how you view yourself. Does that make sense? When you hit a trade, you start going into it like, I'm the shit. I know exactly what I'm doing. I knew that price was going to do that. And the crazy thing about the market, this shit will humble you. It will humble you. You overly beat yourself up when the trade doesn't go your way. And then you're on a high pedestal when a trade does go your way. And one of the things that I had to learn, and it took a really long time, especially when a lot of what you do on the trading side is on social media, right? Like a lot of the stuff that I do trading is because I'm just transparent with everything that I'm pretty much doing and teaching and just showing y'all everything. Is like, I try not to get too high off the highs. Like some days y'all might get a reaction out of me, but those days are from me sending you out a trade. Imagine this, right? Some of y'all, this is your first time coming in a live with me, right? But I do these lives very often. And sometimes in the morning, I trade with y'all, right? So I trade privately with my group, and then I trade live with y'all at the same time. And the crazy thing is, I'll get really hyped because I'll send out a trade to y'all. I'll take it in front of y'all live. I have multiple recordings. I can actually get them clipped and post them a little bit later of my reactions and things like that. But when I send out a trade to y'all and then it makes money for everybody, and I'm seeing, I made $3,000, I made $800, I made $200 today, I made $20 today, so on and so forth. I get excited off that, not because I win the trade. It's because I'm actually helping other people. So the thing that I will tell you as a trader to a trader, don't let your emotions get attached to the outcome of your results. My emotions are based off of me helping other people. So I feel excited. I feel happy. But if it was just me by myself and I was trading by myself and the trade went my way, it is what it is. I just journal it. If I made $3,000 today, cool. It's $3,000. If I made $10,000 today, would I be a little bit excited? Yeah, but I've made $10,000 in a day before. So what? There's nothing new. If I made $100,000 today and it was my biggest trading day ever, I'd be pretty happy. But guess what? I know for a fact my emotions would be so high that I would need to take a step back from trading for at least a week until I find my medium ground. So one thing that I had learned in life, right? And this is why trading is so important, is because it really translates a lot of these principles into your real life. Never get too high off your highs and too low off your lows. Try to find a medium ground, the midpoint, where you are so in control and so self-aware of your emotions that when you are on a high pedestal, you remind yourself that you used to be on a lower end, and it could always go back to that moment. And when you're on the lower end, you got to have enough faith and belief in your ability and your skill sets and your character traits, right? Or characteristics based off of who you are. I'm this type of person to go out and get these types of things in life, right? Because I believe in it or have faith in it. When you're at those bottoms, understanding that it can always flip, right? And the best way to not constantly teeter-totter is just find the middle ground. Find the middle ground where If you make a lot of money today, you don't have a crazy reaction. If you lose some money today, you don't have a crazy reaction. And learn how to like adapt this emotional aspect. A lot of people don't really know or have a lot of self-control when it comes to emotions. Well, in trading, you have to learn that. You know, when people say it took them a long time to be profitable, it wasn't because of the strategy or fucking reading charts. Excuse my language, right? I'm actually working on not cussing as much. So it's not because of them reading the chart that they became profitable. It's when they finally learned the biggest puzzle piece is your emotions. When you're up big, not getting back into the trade and being greedy. When you're down big, not being fearful of taking another trade where the next trade could put you back green or could at least help you get back to green, right? So like try to find the middle ground. Comment middle ground down below. Comment middle ground. You know the program that's on the green screen? Green screen. What are you talking about? What amount of money would you start trading with? I would say I would say about $1,000. $1,000 is a great starting point. Now I don't use prop firms, anything like that. You know, to each is their own. I like the ability to trade with my own money, and I think that if you can't make money with $1,000, you're not going to be able to make money with $25,000 or $50,000 funded account. You're going to have the same bad habits, just translated with more money and more size, and then there's more emotions in those. I would rather, like a lot of my members who start off in TSA, right, which is my group where I've been teaching for the last couple years, right. A lot of the people who come in, they're starting off with lower accounts, even if they make way more money. Like a lot of the people in my group right now are people who work 9-to-5s or people who have families, like a lot of older individuals, people who are like 25 and up. Usually what I've noticed with the people that are in my group or the people that I attract is just I attract a lot of people who are like really serious about life. Like I don't know about y'all, but like I'm not trying to keep going, or I won't even say me, but when I was in certain positions in life, I'm not trying to just keep being in the same position. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to elevate. Like I am trying to, like, even if it's not me taking, like, jumping up 3 stairs or 5 stairs, I'm still trying to move at least 1.5 or 0.5. How many of y'all will agree with me on that? Like I'm not trying to stay the same. So, this is what I always tell people, like, even if y'all don't join my community, right? Even though it is 50% off. So if you want to check it out, the link is in my bio, $75 a month, right? But even if you don't join mine, join something where people are talking the same. Join something where people are actively wanting more out of life, right? A lot of the people, if you came into TSA, you'll notice a lot of them are parents, right? I have grandparents in there, right? I have individuals who are in their 60s and 70s who are working with 401ks and retirement accounts and all types of things, right? But the thing is like they are all around each other, wanting to learn from each other, wanting to talk to each other about the things that they are currently learning, and they are really about it. They really want to be successful. But you got to just change your environment. If you keep talking to your friend about you wanting to learn how to trade and they're not really interested in trading, it's going to affect how you look at going into it. I'm going to tell you, just start it. If I was your friend, like I'm y'all cousin, right? Y'all my cousins. I'm y'all cousin. You know what I'm saying? We brothers and sisters from another family. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I would tell you, like, go out there and go obtain the better things in life. The only way you do that is through skill sets. Okay? All right, cool. I'm glad that makes sense. Thank you guys for sharing the live. Shout out to all the followers, 200 followers so far in this live. We've been live for about 45 minutes, and I feel like I'm just scratching the surface of what I really wanted to talk about today. But I actually want to continue going on here, okay? So shout out to everybody in here. I really appreciate all the support, all the follows. If you guys enjoy it at all, please leave a follow. If you don't, that's also cool too, okay? So me taking this trade, right, it really taught me a big lesson that you just sometimes just don't need to do anything. Just don't do anything. And thank you guys for the badges. I really appreciate it. So in this trade, right, I took it here. Price goes against me. I'm 5% off from being stopped out of the trade. It doesn't stop me out. I don't touch anything. I let the trade do what it does. Market ends up selling off the rest of the day. And then we end up pulling back to 314, which was my original low of day mark that I had marked out. And then now this is a bearish close on the day. So now tomorrow, if I look up on the daily time frame, this is showing me that, hey, there has been some selling pressure that has stepped in. So I'm going to be a little bit more confident in our ability for price to pull back to 310. And all I'm doing is basing it off of how a candle closes. I get it. Y'all want to know market structure. Y'all want to know all that stuff. All that stuff is important, but you can't know market structure without understanding how price moves. The point of market structure is to identify price. The reason the strat is so important, these numbers on these candlesticks, is because you know how to read price. Is that making sense? Am I clicking? Comment yes down below if we clicking. We got almost 400 people in the check-in here. Shout out to all 400 of y'all. I need to see at least 100 yeses down below. That was the first lesson of the day. So to go back to, I think Kay had a question of breaking down the different time frames for different types of traders. Okay, so if you want to grab a notebook, go ahead and grab one, or if you want to just type it in your notes real quick, or if y'all just want to type it down below in the chat, that'll probably help some other people too. So I'm gonna go off of it right now. So go into it in the next couple seconds. Okay, what do the numbers below the candle mean? So each one of the numbers means something different. Marissa, I actually have a YouTube video you can pretty much watch, and it'll break everything down for free. Or you can, I have a link in my bio where you can get access to like an 8-hour free course. It breaks that down as well. Okay. Where'd you say the Cyber Monday link was? So guys, the link is in my bio for our Cyber Monday sale for TSA. This is where I trade live with you. You get access to a 30+ hour curriculum. And I partnered up with one of the top tax firms in the country. So now you guys get a complimentary or a free trading LLC done by us. You just got to cover your state fees. So whatever it costs in your state, you'll be able to get it done for free. And on top of this, for Cyber Monday, you're also going to get a free call with a registered CPA. So a actual tax professional. You guys will have an opportunity to talk to somebody live who understands money, and they're registered CPA, so obviously they know what they're talking about. So if you guys want to take advantage of that, it's only $75. It's normally $150 a month, and this is grandfathered. So basically, when our price does go to $200 a month, you'll still be at $75 a month. So if you want to take advantage of that, it ends tonight at midnight. So you can just click the link in my bio. You'll see Cyber Monday deal, 50% off. You click it, it'll take you to a checkout. Basically, just sign up, and then you get access to all the stuff that I just talked about just now. Okay, so I want to break down something that will help you guys. Actually, let me ask y'all, how many of you have been having trouble sitting in your trades longer? How many of you have had trouble sitting in your trades longer? What is your strategy? I trade the Strat and smart money concepts. Let me know down below. Just drop a yes in the chat if you have been having trouble sitting in your trades longer, or if you want to learn how to maximize your trades. That's probably a better way to ask it. If that's you, if you like, how many of you want to know how to hit a 200% play, a 300%, 500% trade? How many of you want to learn how to do that? What if we just want the LLC and CPA call? Well, they're all combined in one. So, I mean, you're really just getting a bang for your buck. Best bang for your buck. Okay. How many of y'all want to know how to hit 1,000% on the options trade? I've done it a few times now. 300%, done that a lot. A lot of people in my group, we've done it a lot as well, right? Like, I mean, how many of y'all want to learn how to do stuff like this, right? So I'll just show you actual proof, right? So let's actually scroll up. So 132%, shout out to Eddie, made $1,000 on the day. Let me actually scroll over. So this is TSA. This is our trading profits channel, right? So 300% on the account. This person tripled their account. I think he'd only been in here for like a month and a half, but tripled his account. So if you had a $1,000 account and went to $3,000, right? So this is 300% on an entire account. Okay, put that in mind, or keep that in mind. 255%, right? A couple other ones, 197%, 86%, 108%, 40%, 108% again, 92%, 82%. Let's go up to the bigger profits. If we scroll up, so we got 300% right here on, what is this? It actually won't let me open it up on SPY. Right? So how many of y'all want to learn how to do stuff like this, right? Let me know down below in the chat. You know, hitting 330%, so on and so forth. Tripling your money, quadrupling your money, you know what I'm saying? So on and so forth with trading. And yes, these are options contracts. These are options contracts. Okay, so this is what I'm actually going to break down right now to you. How to sit in your trades longer, okay? So I'm going to actually show y'all this based off trades that I actually took. So I'm going to start this back to about right here. Okay. Discord, the link is in my bio to check it out. We have a 75%, or not 75, 50% off Cyber Monday deal right now. Okay. I don't use Tradeovate. I do not use Tradeovate. This is for newbies. What I'm about to show you right now, it can work for newbies as well. So all you gotta do is pay attention, okay? So let's actually go down to the 1 hour time frame, and I want to show y'all something. This is going to completely change the game for you, okay? So let's just pay attention to this. So right now the platform I'm using is TradingView. This is TradingView. So I actually want to show y'all this, right? You like, all right. So how do I want to word this? Let me drink some water real quick so I can see how I want to say this, because this is about to be very important. Okay, this is probably one of the most important parts of this live, so please make sure you guys pay attention, okay? If you have been having trouble sitting in your trades longer, the one key shift that you can make is switching from lower time frames to higher time frames. What do I mean by that? So let's say you take an entry, let's say you take a trade on the 5 minute, or you enter a trade on the 10 minute. Instead of watching the 5 or 10 minute after you enter and seeing all the noise, because what's happening is you're seeing all these candles printing and your emotions is going up and down based off of if price is going in your direction or if it's not going in your direction. The best thing to minimize noise, right? Minimize the emotion, minimize all of that feelings of feeling rushed and feeling like you're trying to make money right now. Like, how do you minimize that? How do you just sit in the trade longer and hit those bigger percentage returns? You got to watch the hourly chart. Watch the 1 hour time frame. And I'm going to literally walk y'all through where to take the trade if you would have taken it like that, how everything would have played out if you just watched the 1 hour time frame. So I entered the trade on the 5 minute. Once I entered into the trade, I set my stop losses, everything, all that stuff good. I move my phone or I move my chart back to the 1 hour because I don't need to see all that. Why do I need to see every 5 minute candle close? Why do I need to see every 15 minute candle close? What's the point? You're asking to put yourself through a lot of emotional fortitude, right? Or a lot of like emotional battles with yourself when you're watching the lower time frames. So if you're not a scalper, there's no reason you need to be sitting there looking at the 5 minute all day long. You need to be watching the 1 hour. If you're a day trader, if you're a swing trader, watch the 1 hour and the 2 hour. I bet you this changes the game for you. And here's the key thing you need to be focused on. I want everyone to type this down below. Let the 1 hour close. Let the 1 hour close. Type it down below. Let the 1 hour close. I want to see a bunch of them in the chat. I just want to see a bunch of them. Like, hella. We got, 340 people in here. I want to see a bunch of them. Let the 1 hour close. So if you take a trade, before touching anything, before thinking about taking profits, let the 1 hour candle close. And let me show you exactly what happens when you let the 1 hour candle close. And I'm going to also show you position sizing, how much you should be going into the trade, how many contracts you should be buying, what does that look like, how I do it, how we do it in TSA. So a lot of those big returns that y'all are seeing, the 300%, 500%, 1000%, a lot of those trades is from us shaving off profits and exiting some positions and leaving runners. I'm going to talk about that all right now. So we locked in right now. Okay, let's get it. So I'm gonna start off with this day and we're gonna work every day forward. So we're gonna go through multiple examples and I'm just gonna show you because this has worked consistently over and over and over. You just gotta let the 1 hour candle close. So let me show you what I mean. So let's say, you took a break of, let's just call it the most simplest strategy, pre-market highs and lows. Let's say you're trading breakouts, right? And this is a form of trading. This is a strategy out there that you guys can try out if you wanted to. It's completely up to you. I trade the strat, but just for this example purpose, I wanted to show y'all this, right? So let's say, you're looking at pre-market highs and lows, okay? Are you recording this? Yes, this is actually recorded on YouTube, so you guys can go back and rewatch it on YouTube as well. We're streaming across YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch all at the same time. So shout out to everybody from all platforms. I greatly appreciate all of you for being here. Okay, so watch this, okay? So let's say IWM on this day, this was last week on the 20th, okay? So let's say you are trading IWM and you're waiting until the 1 hour closes. I wanna just show you how often it gives you actionable signals per the strat, so what these candlesticks mean, and then how to trade them. And this is a trade that we took in TSA. We actually traded this specific trade right here. We traded this live on TikTok. So if you hit the follow button, right? If you hit the follow button, you'll be able to come join me trade live. You'll be able to see if I'm cap or not. I think that's what everybody pretty much wants to know. Is he cap or not? Is he really making money or not? I mean, some of y'all already know because y'all have traded live with me already. But like some of y'all are really asking like, I wonder if he like really be doing this. Click the follow button, come to a live session. I'll show you the profits right then and there in your face. Deal? I think that's worth a follow right there. Okay. So let me actually walk you through this trade. So this candle right here, this is a pretty good bullish push up, right? So we have buyers are in control. You kind of getting like this little curl effect, right? Where price is consolidating, right? Kind of pull back slightly, and then we end up ramping up, going into open of the day, right? So right now we're on the 1 hour time frame, and we're looking at IWM. Yes, we are looking at IWM. So the first thing I want you guys to notice is a lot of times the first hour of the day will give you, or the first, I would say 10 a.m., right? By 10 a.m., you have a solid idea of where the market could potentially go, right? So the first 30 minutes of the day is a lot of noise. It's a lot of beginner traders. It's a lot of, volatility in the first 30 minutes of the day. So if you wanted to just be a profitable trader, if you wanted to be a consistent trader, what I would tell you is don't trade in the first 30 minutes. Especially if you don't know what you're doing. If you're a beginner trader, don't even touch the first 30 minutes. Wait until 10 a.m. Eastern, then look for trades from there. And the reason that I say this is because, again, a lot of the amateur moves are going to happen in the beginning of the day, the first 30 minutes of the day. Now, I'm not saying you can't trade the beginning of the day and, make a bunch of money. I do it all the time. But that's when you get a little bit more experience, when you get more educated, which is, again, why you guys should tap in with TSA. So in this scenario, this is called a fail two up. So notice how this candle is green and red, right? So let me actually show y'all this because it might not make sense right now. So I need to do this, okay? So notice how this candle is actually red. But when I have this indicator on, which is called the Strat Assistant, if you guys get me to 25K likes, I'll show you guys all my indicators. You guys can copy and paste all of them and screenshot them and set them up exactly how I have them set up. If you like this setup, you can pretty much copy everything. I'll give it to you for free. Just give me the 25K likes, okay? Do you have a YouTube channel where you teach strategies? Yes, ma'am. It's Dantes Akram. It's the same as my TikTok. You can just search me on YouTube and yeah. Turbo trades trades the strat and is successful with it. Yeah, there's a lot of strat traders who are killing it. What is TSA? The School of Threaded Arts. That is my group, my Discord group where we teach and trade live and do live classes and everything like that. Ain't the market closed? Yes. We're going over, we're actually going through like different lessons and teaching you guys different things that I've personally noticed. So yeah. Okay, so what I had just showed you guys, right? That indicator in particular has made this candle right here green with a red outline. So if I turn it off, it's red. But with the candle on, it is green and red. Why does it do that? It is showing you a difference between this candle and this candle. These aren't the same candles, right? How can I join the Discord? It's 50% off. The link is in my bio for Cyber Monday. It ends at midnight tonight. This candle is not the same as this candle right here. Why? It's because of where the price of the candle opened and where it closed at. So what we know about a bullish candlestick, when buyers are in control, let's turn this back off. When buyers are in control, the candle opens at the bottom. So it opens down here and it closes at the top of the body, which is right here. And then let me pull this back up over here. Okay. And it closes here, right? So this is a bullish candlestick. A bullish candlestick is showing you when buyers are in control. It is when the candle opens at the bottom of the body. So this middle part, the thicker part, pause, right, is called the body. And these at the bottom, right? So this here and this down here at the bottom. So if I come over here, this here and this here, these are the wicks, okay? Reading these candlesticks is important, especially when you're trading the strat, because it tells you what is actually going on. What is price doing? So this is a bullish candlestick. So the thing you might be asking yourself is, well, Tez, when you turn on the strat indicator, why is this one green with red around it? It's because it was green first and then it turned red. Bulls and buyers were so buyers were in control and then sellers took back control. So what does it look like though? How can we make it make sense? This candle is a bearish candlestick, but where it opened and where it closed is different than a bullish candlestick. So let's actually walk you through it. This candle right here opens here at the top. So on a bullish candlestick, it opens at the bottom, closes at the top. On a bearish candlestick, on a red candlestick, It opens at the top, which is right here, and it closes at the bottom. That is why it is a bearish candlestick. That is why it's a bearish candlestick. It closed lower than where it opened at. So price, this candlestick opened at $238.39, and then it closed at $237.30, which is lower than where it opened at. This is why it's red. This is why it's bearish. It is showing you that sellers are in control. Do we understand that? Do we understand that? Comment yes down below if everything is making sense. Can you explain wicks better? So basically what a wick is how far price went, but it didn't stay up there or stay down there in both scenarios. So you can have wicks on both sides. That's just the furthest price went during that candlestick before it closed. Not every candle looks like that. Exactly. Not every candle is going to look like that. Okay. So I want y'all to see this, right? So let's turn this indicator back on. So now that we know that this is a bearish candlestick. But this, per the Strat, this is called a failed two up. It is when buyers were in control. It opened and it started moving higher. Buyers were in control. Sellers stepped back in and it closed lower. And this is why it's called a failed two up. So a failed two up, it failed to go higher. Buyers failed to keep it pushing higher. So when it closes lower, this is showing me that the sellers have taken back control. And when you see scenarios like this on a 1 hour time frame, right, it's called a failed two up. This is called an actionable signal. So all you have to do is mark out the high of this candle right here, and you mark out the low, and you wait until the next candle breaks above or below. So what does this look like? This was a trade that we took live with y'all on TikTok. Free game. Yes, this is free game, right? We took this trade live with y'all. Some of y'all made money with us on this day that we took this trade. This is why I can go back and I know exactly what happened. When price broke under this, so you could have said, hey, when price breaks under 237.30, this is where I'm looking to take puts on the day. Where is my target? My targets are my key levels. So this is where I'm about to mesh. I'm going to mesh like 2 or 3 lessons together right now. So this is where you need to pay attention the most, because you might get lost a little bit. And this is where you want to ask questions so I can get to it. And that way we can make sure it makes sense. Okay. So where are my targets at? It's the support and resistance from the daily time frame. So these blue lines, these are everything that I've drawn out, support and resistance on the daily. So how do I trade this? My entry is right here. This is an actionable signal. This is my entry. So this is a failed two up. When price breaks under, I take puts. So let's say you take puts right here at 237. Let's call it, right? Where is my targets? How do I know when to get out of the trade? Well, my first target is going to be this blue line. This is the next level of support. Well, when we broke through this level of support, my next target is here, 232. Then my third target is all the way down here at 228. This is called an extreme target. Okay, this is called an extreme target. An extreme target is like if God wanted to completely bless me today, it would get all the way down here and it would pay for me and my family. Like this trade here, from here to here, we had traders catch 1,000% on this trade. And I can actually, let me actually show y'all real quick, just so people know I don't have a reason to cap. Let's go to the 20th inside of the Discord real quick. Actually, I'm gonna actually show y'all from here. We'll keep going back, keep going back. What day is this? This here is, let's keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. This is the 30th. Oh my God, it's gonna take forever to get back there. Okay, never mind. I don't wanna waste too much of y'all time. Actually, let me just see if I can make it any quicker. It's the 26th. Damn. Yeah, it's gonna take forever for me to get all the way up there to the 20th. So I'll just walk y'all through the scenario, right? This trade ended up going over 1,000% right here. And this is on the 20th, right? So watch this. You take the entry here. How do you manage your position though? Okay, how do you manage your position? This is the first thing you should be thinking about. When you want to catch a trade and take it to 200%, 300%, 500%, so on and so forth, you need to understand these fundamental things. Number one, your entire position, your entire entry isn't going to get to your last take profit. It's just not going to happen. It's too much emotions attached. So what does it look like when I trade? So I buy my contracts in thirds. When I'm trading options, okay, I trade in thirds. Okay, we got to 25K likes, perfect. Give me a second, let me explain this first, and then I'll show y'all my indicators, okay? So I buy my contracts in thirds. So what do I mean by that? So I'm either gonna buy 3, right, 6, 9, 12, 120, 150. I'm gonna buy my contracts in thirds. Why do I do that though? It is because in order for me to be able to hit 500%, 1,000%, 300%, so on and so forth, you have to have something called runners. It's when you took some of your profits already after your first few targets already got hit, and then you're leaving some of your contracts to run. So if the trend is continuing, if that particular ticker, let's say, IWM is trending in a certain direction, you want to still be able to maximize and get some of the profits that it could potentially give you. So here's how this looks. When I take my entry, I'm going to buy 3 contracts of IWM. Okay? I'm going to buy 3 contracts of IWM. And what does this look like? Okay, perfect. I took my 3 contracts here, and price is going in my direction because I took puts. Well, my first target is right here. So what do you do at your first target though? Right? What do you do at your first target? You only sell a portion of your contracts. You sell a portion. So you can sell 1/3, you can sell 2/3 of your contracts, but you don't exit the entire position. Why? Because of scenarios like this. Let's say you exited your entire position here. You missed out on from here to here. This is 234 to 228. This is where your account flips, even if it is on runners. So like when y'all see me post bigger returns, like, I have videos on my TikTok where I'm showing y'all like, here's my account size, it's at 250,000. Here's how I made 30K this month, blah, 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 right? When I'm breaking this stuff down, it is runners. It is runners. It's not me leaving my entire position. I'm not that confident yet to leave my entire position. I don't think I'll ever get to that point. I don't think that's proper risk management, right? In the Discord, search the bar menu to the right and you can feel, oh, amazing. That's actually amazing. Let's take a look real quick. Let me see if I can do this. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh my God, you just put me on so crazy. I never knew this. Okay, boom. November 20th. So let's take a look here. So this is the morning time in TSA. We do pre-market calls every morning. So this is where the morning started at. I sent out all of the trade ideas, Apple, AMD, Coinbase. This is IWM right here as well. Oh crap, let me see. Let me see something. $4,300 on SPX. Let me see, let's go to the third one. $1,100 here. And yes, I mean I made 850% on IWM. Other gains were from Walmart and Nvidia swing. So this day, she made 850% from this trade. So everything I'm showing y'all are actual trades that we've actually taken. But this is just me showing y'all the proof. I know some people don't really like for me to take the time out to do this, but I like to do it so y'all can see, like, a lot of people don't really show the reality of things, or they're not like honest about stuff. I just like to go above and beyond to just prove for my brand's sake. And if y'all gonna be listening to me, y'all listen to somebody who actually does this shit, right? So this is her account. She made $850 on the day, which is 850% on a runner, right? Look at this runner right here. Everything that I'm showing you right now is stuff that we've already done. So Eddie, this is 1,000% trade. Let me see if it shows up good like this, right? Actually, it'll look better like this. So this is the percentage on the trade. This is 1,000%, okay? Turned $1,000, what is this? $1,000? What is that? No, $700. So he turned $700 into $7,100, into $7,000 from this one move. The same trade that I'm showing you right now is the same move that he made, about $6,000 on. So if I keep going, right? Let's go to the next page, right? Because this happened a lot. 255% on IWM. It's us leaving runners, right? We are leaving runners. When people's accounts are up big, right? We're leaving runners. Look at this, 1,000%. So when I said earlier, hey, when we took this trade, we had members who were hitting 1,000, 800%, 500%, so on and so forth. It is truth behind it. I can just show y'all. So anytime you want to fact check anything, you just let me know, right? But IWM, 11/20. Look at this date, right? Look at this, 11/20. This is the date that I'm showing y'all. Come back here, 1,000%. Look at the time. This is 11:58 a.m. So she was up 1,000% once we got to this point. This candle right here. She was already at 1,000%. Saeed, 800%. Look at this. 11:20, 11:58 a.m. 807%. Right? 11:58 a.m. is this candle right here breaking these lows, which is your second target. This is 1,000% trade or 800% trade. If I keep going, right? 122%. This is her runners. So her runners were up 665%. Let me see if y'all can see this. Her runners are up 665% right here. So again, the only reason I'm showing y'all this, right, is because I want you to understand that everything I'm talking about is stuff that I actually do. And so yeah, there's proof behind it. I think we can all appreciate that though, right? Where's the Discord? So right now my Discord is 50% off for Cyber Monday. This ends at midnight, so it's $75 a month. You also get a free trading LLC. So click the link in my bio if you guys want to tap in. This is TSA. We do live calls Monday through Friday. Do teaching classes on Tuesdays. We live trade Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Fridays. So yeah, if you want to get pretty much everything that I pretty much offer, it's inside of there. Okay. So back to the lesson. I'm buying 3 contracts here and I'm shaving off my profits. It's called trimming the position, right? So I'm trimming some of my position. I'm selling 1/3 right here at my first target. And then when price hits my second target, I'm selling another 1/3. And then my last 1/3, I'll leave to my last target to see if we end up hitting it at the end of the day. And it does end up hitting it. So are y'all seeing why you want to have runners, number one? Number two, are y'all also seeing the reality of hitting 1,000% isn't your whole entire trade, right? It isn't all the money that you went into the trade with. It's just runners. Let me get a bunch of yeses in the chat if that makes sense. If you've never said anything this entire live, let me just see you say yes down below in the chat. Okay, everything making sense? Okay, amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Now that we understand position sizing, right? So I am shaving off my trade as I go, and then I'm leaving runners. Because guess what? Let's say from here to here, let's say this is let's say this is 7, or let's call it 500%, or let's say this is 500%. What I could also do, right? Let's say, I close out my trade at 500%, and I think the trade is going to keep going in this direction. I can close out my entire position, look at how much money I made, and say, hey, I'm cool with going back in with $150. I just made $5,000. I'll go back in with $150, $200 to see if it keeps going the distance, to see if it keeps making that move, right? And then you can trade it from that perspective as well. So you're either re-entering a trade with profits, or you're just leaving runners. I think leaving runners is better for risk management. I also think it's easier for a newer person to do. And I also think if you think about trading in thirds, I think it's very easy to think about, hey, when I enter this trade, let me buy 3 contracts, let me buy 6 contracts, let me buy 9 contracts, let me buy, so on and so forth. All right. And I get a lot of trolls on these lives, y'all. So y'all can pretty much I appreciate y'all defending me though. I love y'all dearly, but let the trolls do what they do. They're just talking to themselves. Runners is playing with house money, exactly. So I'm basically just playing with profits at that point. I really don't care. But here's another fundamental thing. You have to do this. You have to do this. When you leave runners, so let's say, I've trimmed my position, some of my first 1/3 of my position at 50%, right? Let's say I trim, I got 3 contracts. I sell one third of my contracts, right? So I sell 1 contract at 50%. You have to move your stop loss to break even on the contracts. You cannot forget that. So what does that mean? So right now, your position is up 50%. You sold 1 contract. You still got 2 left. On those last 2 contracts, you don't want to lose money. So you put a stop loss at break even. So wherever you bought those contracts at, you're now telling the broker, hey, close out my trade if I break under this level. So that way you never lose money. Is this making sense? I wish I had like a whiteboard. I actually do have a whiteboard, but with the current setup, it wouldn't really work, right? But is this making sense so far? I want to get a confirmation from everyone. Good. Amazing. So all I am looking at, right, when I'm trading like this in this manner, right, is I'm buying 3 contracts. I'm shaving or I'm trimming some of my position at my first target or at 50%. and then moving my stop loss. You never lose money. I just joined. No. You missed the whole part, bro. But all I'm doing is I'm selling some of my position and I'm moving my stop loss to break even on my runners. So now my runners don't lose me money. So I already secured some of my profits already. Now I'm just moving my stop loss to break even on the runners. So now at worst case scenario, I only walk away with the small profits that I had in the beginning. But at best case scenario, the runners keep going. Right? And this is where you get those 1,000%, 500%, so on and so forth trades. Okay? Everything makes sense? Everything I talked about, just click right now, right? And now I'm going to talk about how do you sit in the trade longer. This is where the next part of the lesson comes in. You could put your stop loss in profit too. Yeah. So let's say your trade is up 500%. You can move your stop loss to 300%. Right? So at the least you walk away with 300%. Make sense? All right. So now let's talk about how do you have the confidence to sit through the trade though? You know, what happens when you're up 200% and you're looking at it and your emotions is like, oh my God, I just doubled my money, right? Like, how do you just look past that? Because it's not something that like, it's not just us taking a guess at sitting in it. That's gambling. How do we have a system? How do we have a way of looking at the market that will allow us to be strategic with the way that we sit in the trade? So, how do you do this? Right? How do you do this? You have to let the 1 hour candle close. So let's say your first target gets hit. Right? Let's say your first target is right here and it gets hit. This candle is still live when this target gets hit. Right? So imagine none of this happened, right? The rest of this candle right here and all these candles, none of this happened. So when your first target gets hit, the first thing you can think is, okay, I'm going to shave off profits. But the thing that I would urge you to think is let the 1 hour close. Tez told me something that was important. Let the 1 hour candle close. So what do I mean? You wait to read the body of the candlestick of the 1 hour once it does close. So what do I mean by that? Right? What do I mean by that? This candle right here, right? Let's say right here, price pulls back up. Let's say in the middle of this candle, it pulls back up. And then it flushes. Had you just waited until the candle closed, right? And you look at this body, this is a strong candlestick to the downside. This is showing me that sellers are in control. There's no buyers that are in control right here. And how do I know this? Because I'm reading the candlestick. Look at the body of the candlestick. When a candlestick has small wicks on both sides, it's pretty much showing you who is really in control. Right? It's showing you who is in control. So if there's little to no wicks, I'm very confident in sitting in the trade because the next candlestick is likely to be bearish because sellers have already showed me that they are in control. And all I'm doing is I'm just reading the candlesticks. I'm waiting until the candle prints and it's helping me say, hey, do I sit in this trade longer or do I close out here? Right? So I don't need to use MACD or RSI. I don't have to use none of that stuff when I trade the Strat because I'm reading just price action by itself. I'm just reading price action and levels. That's pretty much it. Support and resistance and price action. So you let the 1 hour candle close. Boom. It closes down here. So now you're looking at this and saying, oh, bet. Not only did we have a strong candle close and we're right next to my next target, I am pretty confident that we can now hit the next target, which is down here, or at least 230, right? Which is a round psychological number, which is right here. So this is how this will look. I'm waiting until the 1 hour candle closes. So the next candle opens, you let an hour go by. The candle closes. It closes down here. Perfect. I move my stop loss. So now I'm not losing money on the trade. I'm just playing with house money. I'm playing with profits at this point. Right? I'm just playing with profits. Next candle opens, it bounces up higher. Guess what? While you're watching this candle move higher, what are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself, y'all? Let me know in the chat. I know y'all been paying attention. Some of y'all been in here for a while. What do you tell yourself? Let's say this candle opens and it starts going back higher. You don't just say, oh, I'm going to jump out of the trade. It looks like the market is moving higher. It looks like it's going to go against me. What are you telling yourself? Nope, not what is it exactly. Let the 1 hour close. Let the 1 hour close. What do I mean by that? Let the candle print. Let it finish telling the story. You're basically cutting it off mid-story. Let it finish telling the story. You're fine. Look, you had this candle followed up by another very bearish candle. The next one pushes up. This is just showing us that we're retesting these highs, right? When something breaks through something, it has to retest before going back lower. It doesn't have to, but most of the time it does. It's called a break and retest. I know some of y'all probably, follow traders on social media who trade break and retest. It's the same concept. Price broke through a level. We retraced back through a level. We failed to go back higher, and it closed lower. So now, because I let the 1 hour candle close, let's say, your trade is up 500% and then it pulls back to 300%. And you scared. You like, oh, I got to close this shit out because you didn't come to Tez's, live calls. You didn't join TSA. You didn't do your due diligence, or you haven't been trading as long. It's fine. It happens. But because you came here, now you know, hey, even if price is moving against me, let me just wait until the 1 hour closes, because the last two candlesticks, this is showing me nothing but bearish price action. Why would I think that price is just going to bounce immediately? Does the market do that sometimes? Yeah. But it will show you signs based off the candlesticks that it's doing that. You wait until the story is finished. That's why I mean stop micromanaging things. Let the trade play out. So if you move your stop loss, right, let the trade keep going. Let it do what it do. If it stops you out, it stops you out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Cool. You let the hour candle close. Next candle opens, it opens up green. Right? Okay, cool. You could look to take profits here. Right? You could look to take profits here. But again, the next thing that happens is a sell-off during the rest of the day. So let's watch how the 1 hour works. Let's go through actual examples, right? So this is a 1 hour time frame, right? So in this scenario right here, let's just call it 232. Let's say you're looking for calls through 232, puts under 228. This is what your setup looks like. You're just waiting for key levels. You're waiting for actionable signals around these key levels. Okay? So look what happens. You let the 1 hour open. Next candle opens. So this is my entry. While this candle is live, I take the entry here at 232.34. And what do I tell myself to do? Let's say, you take the entry here and it hits your target immediately. You don't just close out the whole position because you're forgetting about the rest of the profits that could come. What am I telling myself, y'all? Even if my target gets hit, can you trim some position? Yes, you should trim some of your position at your first target. But what do I tell myself? Let me know in the chat. What do I tell myself? Exactly. Let the 1 hour close. Let the 1 hour candle 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 close. Let it finish the story. Because what? This is telling me a pretty good story. Look how strong this candle closes. When the candle closes, it closes above your first target. So now you're looking at your second and third target like shit. Like if I just remove these purple lines, this is what it would look like back up. My second target is 237.42. Third target, 240.36. You let the 1 hour candle close, you leave runners. I shave off 1/3 of my position here, or 2/3 of my position here, whatever you want. Move my stop loss to break even on the rest of my contracts, and I let it run. Right? And I let it run. You can always adjust your stop loss too for the person asking in the chat. Right? So look, next candle opens. So remember what I told y'all, break and retest. You broke through here, you retested this level, and now once it holds up and it closes higher, you're thinking, hey, we can definitely take out this target. I'm gonna set an alert on TradingView, and I'm gonna get alerted when this target gets hit. And then you just wait till the next 1 hour candle closes. Okay, you waited for it to close. Now you're saying, okay, it's still bullish. There's no bearish candlesticks or any signs of bears stepping in and taking control. I'm gonna sit in it, and then look what happens, right? You do get a bearish candlestick, and then it closes that day, right? And it doesn't end up hitting your target, right? So you're gonna have scenarios where all of your targets get hit, and then you're gonna have scenarios when one of your targets get hit. But this is why you have to learn how to trim your position. So let's go through another example, right? I'm just using the same levels over and over and over again. Watch this. This 3 bar is an actionable signal, but this is also a very strong bullish candle close, right? So all I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, you know, I could have looked at this and said, open, when we break above 237.42, I'll take calls here. Target 1, target 2. It's all levels from the daily time frame. And look what ends up happening, right? Let's say I took this trigger. Let's say I took calls when price broke above 238.15. And my target is 240.36 and 242.39. So watch this. Price opens, it breaks above, I take the calls, right? So I'm in green. Next candle opens. I'm just waiting until the 1 hour candle closes. Wait until the candle close. Next candle opens, pushes up even higher. Now I'm very close to my first target. Let the 1 hour candle close, right? I get an inside candle. This is consolidation. Wait for the next candle, right? We get a little bit of a bearish price action, and then we end up hitting our target to the cent at the end of the day, right? Let's go through another example. Same exact scenario, right? I'm letting the 1 hour close. This 3 bar is an actionable signal, right? This is an actionable signal, meaning I want to do something when I see a 3 bar. Most of the time it's followed up with a 2 in a direction. This is called a 2 up. If we look left over here, this is called a 2 down. This is when sellers are in control. This is when buyers are in control, okay? I take calls above this 3 bar as long as it makes sense with a higher time frame. So the last 2-3 days were bullish. There's no reason for me to change my bias, especially if I'm looking at the 4 hour and the daily. So now I take my entry here and I'm just letting the 1 hour close. Okay, we pulled back all the way down here. Cool. Did I get stopped out? If I didn't get stopped out, it is what it is, right? You know what I mean? If I did get stopped out, it is what it is, right? But if I didn't, I'm just letting the trade do what it does. I don't need to micromanage. I don't need to touch anything. Just let the trade happen. So then it closes green. Okay, let me wait until the next candle. Okay, the next candle also closes inside, but it's green. Okay, I'm gonna wait till the next candle. Boom, target 1 gets hit, right? So your entry was here, target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4. And let's see if these targets get hit, right? It hits your second target. So sometimes trades are gonna go the distance and it's gonna give you 1,000% plus. Other times it might not, you know, give you that much percentage. Does that make sense? How far out are you generally buying the contracts? It depends on the ticker, right? It depends on the ticker. So I like trading IWM a lot. Those are 0 days. I know other people have their own preferences, right? Like whatever works for you works for you. Whatever works for me works for me. I mean, I have the track record in my own group and within my own trading to back that it works. But you can also do this on weekly contracts. If you're trading something like Google, I showed y'all this on the Google trade that I took today. All I did was I just waited for the hourly candles to close. I didn't touch it. I didn't manage the position. I didn't do anything. I didn't change my opinion. I didn't look at myself differently. I didn't say, oh, I'm down, now I should close it out, or I'm up and I should close it out. No, it's just price is doing what it does. I'm just waiting until the candles close. That's it. This is how you maximize your profits. You leave runners, right? Look at this. Same exact thing. Look how we're just trending in an upward direction. When you go look at the daily and the 4 hour and you have the overall direction in the market structure to back the direction, you just take the trade. You just sit back and you relax. You set your stop loss. It either works or it doesn't. And this is what I mean by removing the emotion. You have to learn how to remove the emotion. Look at this. This is your entry, which is a 3 bar on the 1 hour. Next candle opens, pushes up. You take the entry. You wait until the candle closes. This is a strong bullish candle closure. Hits your first target, consolidates at your first target, makes a move back higher to hit your next target. Like just, and all you're doing is leaving runners. I'm not sitting in my entire position, right? I'm not, and you're gonna have days like this where it may not work with you, right? Like, you know, you might have taken calls a few times here and you might have got cooked. You're not gonna have green days every single day. You're not gonna have great trades every single day. Everything's not gonna work all the time. Even with what I just showed y'all, even though it works, and even though you're seeing it work right here in front of you, it's a completely different ballgame when the market is live, when there's different headlines coming out, when Trump is speaking, when you have red folder data coming out and things like that. So the example that I just gave y'all, do y'all now understand why runners are important and how to sit in your trades longer? Do we understand these two things now? me get a bunch of yeses in the chat. We got 362 people in here. Shout out to everybody that's been in here for the last hour and a half. Are we all understanding? Even if you've never said anything this entire live, I want you to comment yes down below if it's clicking and making sense. Amazing, amazing. Perfect. And again, y'all, I know I see the trolls too. You know, they're going to have their own opinions. They're going to do whatever they want to do. They're going to say whatever they want to say. That's cool too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to talk to the people who actually enjoy this stuff. Right? Like, I could care less about all the opinions of me and all that stuff, bro. You know, if you don't like me, cool. Keep it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And if you do like me, cool. I rock with you too. You know what I'm saying? I guess you're not answering my question. I'm sorry. I didn't see your question. Okay. Indicator. Here y'all go. Right here. I wanted to teach that first beforehand. There y'all go. Y'all can screenshot this right here. These are the indicators that I personally use right now. I don't, actually let me make sure. Yeah, these are all good. I don't use the 50%er as much, but these are the indicators that I use. And this is for TradingView. So when you make an entry, right, do sit and just sit, wait till you hit your goal? Yes, either I get stopped out of the trade or my target gets hit on the trade. How much do I need to start off with? I usually recommend starting off with like 1,000. Did everybody screenshot it? Let me know down below in the chat if you guys got a chance to screenshot it. So these are the indicators that I personally use on a day-to-day basis. Okay. So again, everything that I'm showing y'all is the stuff that I'm actually doing on a day-to-day basis. It's working. I'm showing y'all profits. I'm showing y'all real accounts. These aren't funded accounts or none of that shit. Everything that we do, none of that stuff, excuse me. Everything I'm showing you is people with real money. Like I told y'all, 95% of the people in my group, in my trading Discord, are 9-to-5 workers. People who are older, people who are really interested in making a better situation or creating a better scenario for themselves and for their families. So if you're that type of individual where you really want to understand more about trading, let's say you're already trading and you're just not consistent, right? You're not able to see your account actually grow, right? If you want help doing that, right? If you're a beginner and you want to know all the wrong stuff to do right out the gate so you don't make those same mistakes, so you can have a quicker learning curve, right? If you're someone in here and you are trading and you have a lot of success, but you feel like you just need to clean up a couple of different things. If you're any one of these three people, I'm going to actually show you this right now. TSA is my trading group. Again, we trade live Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Fridays. Okay. We do teaching calls with me personally on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, where I come in, I break the charts down. We teach you different concepts, different strategies, different things I'm seeing, things that I messed up on, so on and so forth. Right. Then on top of that, you know, you have pre-market calls Monday through Friday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I jump on a call at around 8:30 a.m. Eastern to about 9 a.m. Eastern, and we go over the charts. I give you guys my entries, signals, all that stuff. And then most importantly, you get access to all the other individuals who are out here trying to make a better situation for themselves and their families. So like I said, other people who are trading, other people who are seeing success, other people who may not be seeing success and are getting help. If you are one of those people in here right now and you're like, yo, I'm serious about this, and I want to take advantage of it. And if you like the way that I teach, you like the strategy that I show, and you want to give it a try, right? You can test it out. If you come over here, you click the top. So let's say you're in my live right now. So this is you right here in the live. Okay. What you can do is click my profile at the top right corner. So I'm going to click it, and then you're going to click on my account. I only have one account. I'll never ask you to send me Bitcoin or any of that stuff, right? So you're going to basically go to my account. Okay. And then you're going to click the link tree. And once you click the link that's in my bio, this will pop up. And basically all you're going to do is click on the second link, this one right here. And basically what it says is join TSA trading group, 50% off for Cyber Monday, trading Discord community, right? You're going to click right there. It'll take you to the group itself where you can read up. You can read our testimonials and reviews and all that stuff. You can check out all of this stuff. And then obviously you have two options. So you can pay monthly, or you can pay for the entire year up front, whichever one works best for you, or lifetime access. You have all three options right there. So what I would recommend is taking the next few minutes to go ahead and enroll into TSA. Again, this ends at midnight because this is Cyber Monday, and this is the only time that I do deals or any type of sales, because I don't personally believe in putting sales on things that I'm teaching. But you know, Black Friday, sales spirit, so hey, it is what it is. But if you want to check it out and you don't want to pay $150 a month, then check it out. It'll be $75 a month until you unsubscribe. So it'll be $75 a month until you unsubscribe. So when price, let's say tomorrow or tonight at midnight, when it goes back to $150 and I join this live tomorrow and people are like, oh, I want to sign up, right? It's going to be $150. Next month, you'll still be paying $75. The month after that, you'll still be paying $75. The month after that, $75 until you unsubscribe, which you can do at any time. We also have customer support. You get a free trading LLC and a free registered call with a CPA as well. So if these sound like things that you'd be interested in and you want to tune into a call tomorrow with us and trade live with us, then click the link in my bio, like I just showed you. What's the brokerage you use? Webull. Sheesh. I use Webull. Let me get some light in the background. Sheesh. All right, that makes it look a little bit better. Oh my gosh. Okay, so while you guys are joining TSA, for those of you who are interested in joining, while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna open up about 5 minutes for Q&A. Then we'll get back into the charts and stuff. But what questions do you guys have for me? Whether it's about joining TSA, about trading, about options trading, whatever, questions you guys have, go ahead and pretty much ask them down below while other people are joining TSA right now. Do you enter when the buyers are in? Not kinda, yeah, I guess, yeah. What is the purpose of a free trading LLC? So you can write off joining the group. So you can write off the investment itself, which is $75 a month. You can write it off. You can write off your internet. You can write off, computers and stuff, like all the stuff that you're buying trading material wise. You can write all of that stuff off. And then you also get a chance to talk to a CPA, someone who understands the ins and outs of taxes, especially when it comes to dealing with the stock market. Thoughts on ICT 22 Strat? I don't think I've seen that one. Who did you learn from? So I learned from, shout out to my boy JR Greatness. I learned from him, Curly K, and then way back then YouTube videos, honestly, like in 2021, like YouTube videos primarily. I'm excited to join your team. Definitely humanity. I look forward to having you in there. Real quick, if you guys enrolled into TSA just now, just comment I'm in down below. I'm gonna shout out every single person who ends up enrolling into TSA tonight for our Cyber Monday deal. So just comment I'm in down below, and I'm gonna shout out all the people who enrolled into TSA today. Have you ever, do you enter on the lower time frames and then watch it on the higher time frame? Yes, I do. I enter on the 5 minute and I watch it on the 1 hour. Have you experienced and lag or delay using Webull when integrated with TradingView? I don't integrate them too. I take my trades off my cell phone and I watch the charts on my computer. Repeat those names again. Which names? Thoughts on using funded accounts? It's just personally not something I like to do, but to each their own. Do you recommend enrolling even if I don't have enough capital yet? Yeah, because you still want to get the information. So you don't want to be taking out all that time to try to build up the capital when you could be learning at the same time. So I would recommend enrolling, learning and building the capital at the same time, so that way when you have the capital, you know exactly what to do. Do you trade with combines? What do you mean by combines? Shout out to Jaden for enrolling into TSA. What site do you trade on? Webull. I will when I stop driving. Sounds good. Again, like I said, everyone, that link expires tonight at midnight. Is there a security pre? Security pre, what do you mean by that? Do you trade pump and dumps? No. We only trade companies that are traded on the stock market. Is there a specific premium you go for? Not necessarily. I don't look for specific premiums. The premiums are all based off of your account size. So how much you're spending on, a per trade basis is dependent on your account size. Shout out to Ant for enrolling into TSA as well. Again, guys, if you are just coming back in and you already enrolled into TSA, comment I'm in down below. If you haven't already, click the link in my bio. It is currently 50% off for Cyber Monday until midnight. You will not be able to join at $75 a month after midnight. It'll be $150. Can you name some potential downside of using a funded account? This is legit day 2 of me learning. So if you're trading futures, you might want to use a funded account. But for options trading, you don't need a funded account. What do you think about trades by Sai? Honestly, I don't think anything of them. Honestly, you know, I think shout out to anybody who teaches trading and does it with pure intentions, right? Like, there's all this slander about course sellers and gurus and all this shit, and it's like, bro, like the amount of lives that are being changed from people who are teaching, and you know, you come out and be negative about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Teachers their own. I don't have I don't have that thing in me where like I can like just start talking negative about somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never had that type of bone in my body. I think that shit like weak. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. I just think it's a character flaw. If that's something that you like to do, is like pull other people down. Like, you have all this time in the world to go do better things and push people up and be positive. You get nothing out of being positive or negative. You know, at least when you're positive, you can build a relationship, you can build a friendship, you can, you know, you can have a better perspective on things. But when you always negative, the outcome is never good. Are failed twos and threes reversals the best setups? Those are my favorite setups. I don't know if they're the best, but those are my favorites. Failed twos is definitely my go-to for sure, though. Shout out to Divine. Shout out to Divine. Fuck. Shout out to Divine for enrolling at the TSA as well. Sorry, I didn't want to butcher that last part. Can you make money by entering a trade when the sellers are in? Yes, you can make money on both directions. What was the hardest? What was the hardest thing to grasp your mind around trading? Really, I would say is the emotional aspect. There's a lot of emotions in trading, and I think a lot of people really downplay it, but like, you know, you gotta really keep that in mind. Emotions are everything in trading. If we join at 75 a month, does it stay at 75 a month? Yes. So you are pretty much grandfathered in if you join today at 75 a month. However, if you don't join today, by midnight, it will be 150 a month and it will never be lower. So you can look at it and say, hey, I just won't eat McDonald's 3 times this month, and I'll be able to access all of these live classes, live trading, and more, right? Or you can say, I'm cool with my McDonald's, right? And I'm cool on this group. And then when you come back and you see us trading live and we're making money right there in your face, and you're like, yo, can I get that Cyber Monday deal again? And I tell you, no, you just got to chalk it up and pay the extra. You know, one of the things that I've learned about life is that, you know, everything is based off of how quickly you make decisions. The most successful people in the world, they just don't hesitate when they're making decisions when they know it's something that could help them. So like, you have to move with quickness when you are an individual who is highly intentional, right? Most of the millionaires and multimillionaires and things like that I know, they're very intentional. So when they make their mind up about something, they make the decision right then and there, and they question things later. Do you only use Webull? I use Robinhood too. I have a Robinhood account as well. Amen. Leaders are built based on good character, 100%. Every time. You Forex or crypto trader? I trade options. How soon can you start making money when you start? Literally when the market opens. So tomorrow. If I had the extra, I'd hop in the group, but I gotta see first. All good, bro. Who knew a joining the TSA group today? Let's tap in together. You can let us know in the Discord as well, Don. A lot of our older members, they would love to welcome you in as well. You got live daily? Not every day. Last week, I don't think I went live at all. I wasn't feeling too well last week. I'm still kind of sick right now. What time do you start trading? I trade every morning. We start at 9:30 when the market opens. Usually we only trade for the first 2 hours of the day unless we're swinging something. You ever trade futures? Nah, not really. I've been doing the Strat for stock trading and it's been fire, and I also do it for credit spreads. Yes, so the Strat is life-changing, for real. Specific days the market open or just random? Wednesdays and Thursdays is when I live trade primarily. How much do I need to start day trading? $1,000 is the minimum. If you work a consistent 9 to 5 and you have money and stuff like that, you can start with more. I use Webull. How much a month again? It's $75 a month, but at midnight it will go back to $150. So if this is something that you really like and you're really interested, like some of you right now are like teeter-tottering, right? Like you're like, low-key want to join, but then again, I could just keep $75 in my pocket. And the thing I would ask you, because you're probably not saying anything in the chat right now, you're probably just watching, you're probably, you know, really thinking about it, is anything going to change tomorrow if you don't do it? Are you going to learn more tomorrow or next week or next month or next year? are you going to be in a better position then, right, than you would be now if you were to enroll and actually learn the craft that you want to do, right? Like if you're so serious about doing it, it shouldn't be something that you hesitate on. And the only time you hesitate is when you are second guessing the thing. But you don't second guess the group, because I'm showing you the results on a day-to-day basis. You're really questioning yourself and if you have the ability to make it happen. All I'm telling you is that I'm willing to hold your hand through the process. So if you're rocking with me, I'm rocking with you too. So if that means anything, you know what I'm saying, you can tap in. If not, that's cool too. How do I sign up? Let me walk y'all through it one more time. Bro, I gotta take a cough drop or something, bro. So this is you right here, okay? This is you in the live, right? Whether you're on your phone, computer, whatever it is, right? So what you want to do is you want to click the top right corner and it'll take you to my account. So right up here, you want to click on my account. It'll look like this, and then you click on the actual account itself. Again, guys, this is my only account, okay? So it'll look just like this. When you come to my page, you're going to click the link tree that's in my bio. So there's a link in my bio. You go ahead and tap on that. Once you click it, okay, it's gonna pop up a few different options. You're gonna click the second option, which is this one right here. It'll say join TSA trading group, 50% off for Cyber Monday. It'll say trading Discord community. You're gonna click on that. If you wanna read up and watch the video, feel free to. You can read all the stuff that it comes with, all the reviews and all that good stuff. Then you wanna go ahead and click Apple Pay if you wanna pay with Apple Pay, or you can click pay over here and it'll take you to the card options. You do have it for $75 a month. You can do $997 for a year or $2,500 for a lifetime access, okay? You click join on one of those options, the email and card info pops up. You can pay with Cash App. You can pay with all the other options out there, PayPal, crypto, we take it all. You can pay through here, and then it'll be $75 a month until you unsubscribe. It won't go to $150. So when I change it at midnight to $150, you won't be paying $150, you still be paying $75. Hey, good evening, everybody. What's up, Niche? Is this day trading? Yes. Got a couple payouts already. Let's go. Can you show me an example of a failed to higher time frame set up that one? Yeah. We actually just went over one. You said a failed to up, or you're just saying a failed to in general? Let me show you. So this is the scenario that we were just going over when we were teaching this. But this is a failed to that followed up with a lot of bearish sentiment or a lot of bearish price action. Even if we look left right here, same thing. Failed to up, to down. You got, and it's followed up by a continuation. If we look here, failed to up, and this is on the hourly time frame. So again, like I said, I'll watch on the hourly time frame and I'll take my entries on the 5 minute. But yeah, so failed to up, two down, hits your next targets. Let me see. Yeah, failed to down is right here. Failed to down, and then we ended up moving back higher. This is a failed to down here off support, moving back higher. This 2-2 right here, 2-2 reversal, moving back up towards your targets. So yeah, you get in after the hour of candle close, the hour close on the candle. Yes, if I'm looking at something intraday, yeah. However, if I'm looking for an earlier entry or something like that, if I'm on a 5 minute, I'll look for that same candle on a 5 minute. It just has to match with the higher time frames though. How much do you need to start off with? I say $1,000 at the least. Oh my gosh, bro. This is ridiculous. How much can you make in this? Really, the sky is the limit with trading. The stock market in general. I mean, shit, there's so much money being made in it. I mean, there's really, the sky literally is the limit. There's literally no limitations to the amount of money you can make. Also do low premium spreads with the stop. Not a lot of people know about spreads. Yeah, they don't. That was probably one of the first things I had learned about a few years ago. Credit spreads. Can you take out as soon as you make the money? Yeah, you can take out the money whenever. Yes, indeed. Holy shit. Exactly. I made money today trading. Love to see it. Today was a little bit of an easier day. We can actually look at today as well. And again, another example of just letting the 1 hour candle close. Let the 1 hour candle close. Let the 1 hour candle close. Let the 1 hour candle close. So one of the things that we had noticed today with QQQ, right, is this gap down. So earlier today we seen Bitcoin pull back to about 84,000, 83,000, retested this level. And then we had the rest of the market pretty much gap down as well. So, you know, on Friday, we ended up closing at 619, and then the market pretty much opened at, we ended up opening at 613. So we gapped down about $5, right? So, you know, price closed bullish, and then we opened up bearish. And one of the things, again, that I talked about in this live call, or this live stream, right, is when gaps are filled, right? So we mark this out. So this is what it looks like before the market opens. This is the gap fill. This is where price would like to move to, and or this is a, you know, a direction or a target that you would have with price already gapping down. You would have this as a target. All right. So what this ends up looking like, you could have looked for calls back above 616, right? Or you could have looked for an actionable signal. What would an actionable signal look like? This 3 bar. So we retested the lows of pre-market and then got bought right back up and then went and closed above pre-market highs. Once I seen this, you just take the calls. You also have all time frames are green. So the 30-minute, the hour, the 4-hour, the daily, the week, the month, the quarter, all of these are green. So when you're taking calls into full time frame continuity, or when all the time frames are green, when you're taking calls in this scenario, you're going to be way more confident in sitting in it and waiting for your targets to get hit. So if you take this trade here, when price breaks back above here, your target is up here, and then target 2 would be back here, like previous day highs. And then you jump up to the 1 hour time frame. Once you take the entry, and you just let the 1 hour close. So the 1 hour closes. Now, even though price did pull back pretty steep, you would have probably got stopped out. Had you just let the 1 hour close though, right? We ended up closing higher. If you didn't get stopped out, then you wait for the next 1 hour candle to close. This one pulled back pretty steep as well, but overall went back right back higher, right? Let the 1 hour close, hits your target. So, and again, this is a gap fill. And then we ended up having price sell right back off at the end of the day. What is the best time to trade? Usually the first 2 hours of the day or the last hour of the day. What software is this you're using? This is TradingView. This is TradingView. Can you explain a bullish candle with no wicks? It's called a Maribozu, right? So let me actually look. I think we have one on the daily. No, I think it's on a weekly. Okay. On the weekly time frame, this candle right here is called a Maribozu candle, and is when it's is little to no wicks at the top of this wick. I mean, at the top of this candle and at the bottom of this candle. So this is what a candle looks like with little to no wicks on either side. So you trade towards the end of an hour if you enter on the 5 minute, towards the end of the hour if you enter on the 5 minute. No, so if I see a setup on the 5 minute, right? So if I drop down to the 5 minute, let's look at this, right? This is called a 2-2 reversal, right? This is a setup, and I know that we needed to defend this level because this is pre-market lows. So when I get this reversal, this is showing me that we're bouncing from pre-market lows right here. So this is just a reversal. This is an entry. So on the 5 minute, I would take this entry. I would wait for calls either to break above here, or I could have just waited for this blue line to break and then take calls from here. So it depends on, like, I'm always dropping down to the 5 minute to find my entries. However, where you're getting into your trades, it depends on the levels. This is TradingView right here, y'all. And again, I trade on Webull, so I just trade on my phone. That's just personal preference though. What other questions do you guys have? For those of you guys, I know we have about 210 people in here. Some of y'all have never said anything. Some of you haven't said anything in a minute. How did you like today's live stream? Did you enjoy it? Did you learn anything new? Is there any questions that you have? Yeah, let me know. Can you show us how you set up the gap fills? Yeah. So basically what a gap fill looks like, just signed up. Shout out to Third World for enrolling at the TSA as well. Again, guys, tonight the 50% off sale on the trading Discord group closes at midnight. So let me see. So gap fills. So I use Lux Algo right here. And when you see this green box like this is a gap. So this is a gap right here. So think of it like this. When you have a green gap like this, like these two boxes right here, this is a bullish gap, meaning that sellers have not had a chance to come back through here, right? On the opposite end, a bearish gap will be red. So if I like look at right here, this is a bearish gap. This is when price gap down and then buyers have not been back through here. So this gap right here still hasn't been filled. So I mean, it's possible we get this filled this month, but you would look for price to come back through this gap or continue in that direction, which it gap down and then it continue falling. Is this the daily? Yeah, this is the daily. I usually mark out my gaps either on the daily, the 4 hour, or the 1 hour. Good info, bruh. Thank you. Yes, I learned wait for a candle to close. Thank you. I'm glad you learned that. We'll come back for future streams. Yeah, make sure you guys hit the follow button if you guys like this at all. At the top of your screen right now, there's a follow button. It helps these streams a ton. So if you could hit the follow button if you liked it at all. If I earned a follow, if I didn't earn a follow, don't hit the follow button. I don't want any freebies or anything like that. Is $200 too small to get started? Not necessarily, but I do recommend starting with more. First time here. I like the free game provided. Keep it going, Brody. It is in my interest. Appreciate that, bro. Look forward to having you in the next live. Yo, man, I'm a CDL driver, but I see the young people make more trading. Where can I start? So I have everything pretty much free on YouTube. However, if you want something more tight-knit, like you want to be able to trade live, you want to be able to, go through a 30+ hour curriculum and things like that, you can click the link in my bio. We're doing a 50% off sale right now on TSA, which is my trading group. Like I said, we trade live Wednesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays, we do live calls at 7 p.m. Eastern, where I just pretty much teach. And then Monday through Friday, we do pre-market calls. Is that Sadiddy Des? Is that you? What's up, Queen? Hope all is well. But yeah, if you want pretty much all that, plus I partnered up with one of the top tax firms in the United States called Prime Tax Services. Feel free to Google them. You also are getting a complimentary trading LLC as well. So basically, you pay for the LLC in your state, and then they'll cover doing it, and you also get a free call with a registered CPA. This is only for TSA members. I can't offer this outside of that because it is in direct alignment with our partnership. So if that's something you want to take advantage of, click the link in my bio. The links will be there. What indicator to use for previous highs and lows? Strat Assistant. Here's all my indicators right here too, y'all. I'm from Canada. What does that mean for LLCs? I don't know if Canada necessarily, deals with LLCs. So I don't think you have to worry about it. Whatever y'all tax system looks like, it's like basically a document for you to be able to write stuff off or be a legal business or a legal entity when you are trading or doing any type of business. So you give us stocks to trade daily. Yes. During our pre-market calls, I go over everything that I'm looking for, and then I send them out to you live. Be real. How do you start and how much should you spend? To be real with you, start off either learning from someone who's doing it. So you can learn from me, you can learn from Aristotle, you can learn from Juvier, you can learn from whoever, right? Find somebody you like, find the person you like the way they teach. If they resonate with you, all that good stuff, find that person. Learn from them. 2, study. 3, start off with about $1,000. 4, start paper trading in the beginning so you know how to use Webull and Robinhood, all that stuff. And then start live trading. Is an LLC required to start day trading? No, it is not. You have other videos in the Discord for teaching that aren't on YouTube? Absolutely. Let me actually show y'all real quick what it looks like to be in our curriculum, to have access to our curriculum. Let me actually pull this up for y'all. So if I come over here, and let's go ahead and show TikTok. And let's go over to live trading curriculum, full trading A to Z course. All right, so this is what it looks like to be in our curriculum. So as you guys can see, this is TSA. We have a full onboarding. We got a bunch of stuff in here, right? So let me just show y'all what you learn when you're inside of TSA, okay? So beginners trading and investing course, 16 chapters, 59 lessons, 29 hours and 45 minutes long total. So it is very in-depth. This isn't something that we take lightly. This isn't some course, right? This is why I don't sell courses. I think having people who have a community who are teaching it live, who can show you real shit live, is the most important way to trade or learn how to trade, in my personal opinion. So if I click on here, it'll pull up all of our curriculum. Now the cool thing is you can access this on an iPad, on a computer, or on your cell phone, and all of the videos that are recorded here are recorded in 4K. So in this same setup that I'm using right now that y'all are watching the stream off of, this is the same quality you're gonna get in most of these videos, unless they're class recordings that we did on Zoom that were uploaded into our curriculum. So first off, if you're a complete beginner to trading and you have no idea what a stock is, what investing is, what trading is, what any of that stuff is, if you're a complete beginner, I'm talking you don't know a damn thing, definitely the place you want to be at, right? So this very first video is about an hour, 43 minutes long. It'll get you over all of the beginner hurdles, all of the terminology, all the abbreviations, all that stuff. It'll teach you all that. Next is the mentality of a great trader or an investor. This is very vital because before you jump into anything making money wise, you should frame how you're going to think about making money and how you're going to deal with it, okay? Next, chapter 1.5 is risk management and how to grow your account. So we talk about sizing for zero. We do featured classes with other 6 and 7 figure traders as well. So you see those recordings in here. How to actually grow your account. Best to grow any size account using 1 to 2 tickers. Compounding daily growth. So how do you grow a small account? And then how do you access some journals? So we do have like a lot of small resources, not small resources. We have a lot of resources that you guys have. So like journals, PDFs, things like that that we give to you as a TSA member that will help make things easier for you. Next is fundamental analysis. So what articles do I use? What companies do I use? Like Yahoo Finance, CNBC, Unusual Wells, me walking you through all of them step by step. And then next, this is the investing or trading brokerages. So we go over M1 Finance, we go over Webull, we go over Robinhood, how to trade on both of these platforms, how to take the trades that we send out, all that stuff. We walk you through everything step by step. Next, we have technical analysis where we break down trading view. So this is about 33 minutes long. How to customize your trading view, this is about 9 minutes. We talk about candlesticks, how they close, the anatomy of a candlestick. So how to stop getting faked out of your trades. We have a section on that. How to chart key levels, support and resistance guide, volume, liquidity, and momentum. Using the Strat assistant, right? We break that stuff down in depth. Some PDFs that you can download and laminate. We go over Lux Algo and how we use smart money concepts. Options contracts, how do you choose the best options contracts, right? So breaking down the options Greeks, each and every one of them one by one, choosing the right expiration date for your contracts, choosing options based off the ATR. If you don't know what that is, that's another reason you should be in TSA. How out of the money contracts can get you 100 to 1,000% plus returns on your trades. We walk you through it and we show actual case studies of students who are doing it. Chapter 5.5 is leaving runners. So how do you sit in your trades longer and how do you hit more consistent 100+% trades? Chapter 6 is high probability setups. So setups that I'll take 10 times out of 10 every time that I see it. So, you know, how to trade the orb, charting a high probability trade with you, so on and so forth. Confirmation of trade entry. So how do you use the 5 minute to actually jump into the trade and how do you be confident when taking it? How to swing trade. So if you have a 9 to 5 and you can't really trade live day to day, we teach you how to swing trade as well. How one ticker will change your life. So we have a whole section on that. How to hit 200 to 2,000% trading SPX. And then we also have a trading tool or an AI scanner. It scans the entire stock market for your favorite setups. So now instead of taking all that time during pre-market to go through your watch list, you can click one button using our scanner. It'll scan the entire market. It'll give you all your favorite setups right there in front of you. So you can pretty much just grab them and use those to trade with. And then how to set up your charts. This is a bonus that we added in recently. And yeah, we have some more advanced stuff, AI trading hacks. So yeah, this is all of the curriculum that you get. And then on top of that, you get access to the Discord community, which is where all of us are communicating at on a day-to-day basis. So this is where you're going to be able to trade live with us. You're going to be able to see live profits from other people with all types of different account sizes. You can hear real life analysis of things that people are learning. You can see other people's trade ideas, setups, how much money people are making. So 60, he enrolled into TSA I think 2 weeks ago, and his account is currently up $428. He started with a $1,000 account. So again, like I told y'all, like I get it. All those other people tell y'all about prop firms and all that shit. Like the only reason I tell y'all start with a smaller account is because if you can grow a smaller amount of money into a big amount of money, it'll be easier for you to grow a big amount of money into a bigger amount of money. But if you start off with a extreme huge account, you're setting yourself up for failure. You got to learn how to build an account. You got to learn how to compound your account. You got to learn good risk management. So pretty much you come in here. This is all of our day trading signals. Or not day trading signals. This is the trading floor. So this is where all of the members are communicating. Very, 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 very active every single day. Then we have day trading signals. This is where I send out all of the trades to you in the morning time during our pre-market calls. I break all of this stuff down. I send them out where the entries are. I send screenshots of the charts. Everything is, timed as well, time stamped. So everything is legit. We also have another member in our community, Nova. He sends out swing trades. So if you work a 9 to 5 and you can't be, too much in the day-to-day when it comes to trading, he sends out overnight trades that you can take overnight that usually hit pretty well. So you can see some of his trades and his consistency. 172% here on Microsoft made $1,800. And he's sending out his charts and everything as well, where his entries, where he's getting stopped out, all that good stuff. And then we have a bunch of other resources as well, like Fastlane support chat, trading profits, testimonials, long-term portfolio buy. So where I'm buying stuff, I actually show when I'm buying. So when I was buying Bitcoin back in April, 25,000, Nvidia, 24,000 into Nvidia, another 15,000 into TSM and Hood. And then how all these positions were pretty much up over 150% in just a few months. So I break down everything. Long-term investing, that's my strong suit. And then options trading as well, which is something I'm progressively getting better at. As a trader and investor, you're always getting better at pretty much what you do, your craft. You're never just there, or you've never just really made it. You're always getting better and learning something new. So that is all of TSA in a nutshell. Kind of explained in a brief, quick little walkthrough. So yeah, that is normally $150 a month. Right now for Cyber Monday, it is 50% off. It's $75 a month, and you'll stay at $75 a month. The way you access it is by clicking the link in my bio. The second link in my bio, you'll see it say Cyber Monday 50% off. You click that link, and then you'll be able to enroll immediately. And if you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe at any time. How are you trading pre-market calls and puts? We don't trade during pre-market. We'll like swing something overnight. We'll swing something overnight. Coach K, the GOAT. How do you set up break-even stop losses? You would go and set a stop loss, and then you would look at the price, the premium that you bought your contracts for, and then you would put that price. So how much did you buy how much did you buy each contract for? And then you're gonna put that price as your stop loss. That's how you set it as break-even. Hopefully that makes sense. That's what I thought, because I was confused. Can't do puts or calls pre-market. Yeah, no, we take overnight trades. So like we'll enter a trade at 3:50, 10 minutes before the market closes, and then we'll look for that trade later the next day or the day after. Holy shoot. Say it again. So let's say you're buying IWM contracts, and the contracts are $25 each. Let's say each one of your contracts now move to $50 each. You would just put your stop loss at $25, which is where you bought in at. That's how you set it to break even. I wish Webull had simpler ways to like navigate to do stuff like this, but it's just not something that they've really incorporated just yet. So Robinhood really hasn't either. I don't think any platform's really made it super simple to say, hey, let me put a stop loss at break even on my options trade. Like I don't think they have anything like that across all brokerages. So you're basically just putting the premium or the contract price that you bought it at, you're putting that as your stop loss, so it doesn't break under that. It's easy for options. You just sell at your premium you bought in for. Yeah, on a stop loss. Yeah, so whatever premium you bought the contract at, you would just set that as your stop loss when the trade is going in your direction, and you're ready to set a stop loss at break even. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. What other questions you guys got? I was looking for it in the settings. Nah, unfortunately, I don't have anything settings wise. Bro, what was that noise? Do you take into account the Greeks? I do. I do indeed. Yes. We have a whole section in our curriculum as well that goes over the Greeks. I do take the Greeks in consideration. Not so much on a day trade side, but for swings, absolutely. I'm always looking at the theta, the gamma, and the delta. Oh my gosh. Let me take this cough drop, bro, because I'm fucking dying. I just joined and paid. Shout out to Humanity for enrolling into TSA. If you enrolled into TSA for our Cyber Monday deal and I have not shouted you out, just comment I'm in down below in the chat and I will shout out all the new members of TSA. And I look forward to seeing y'all in tomorrow's live call. I might end up trading live tomorrow on stream and in the group. So we'll see. Are you rich? It depends on how you define rich. I have a, oh my God, just broke my haul. I have a loving family. You know what I'm saying? I'm loved by many. I help people. I have a roof over my head. I'm rich, very rich, you know? I'm just very grateful. I don't really I used to look at rich based off a number until I realized once you make $1 million, let me be honest with y'all. When you make $1 million, when you have $1 million, let's be real. I'm gonna be honest with y'all and I'm gonna tell y'all my personal perspective. When I first realized that I had made $1 million, actually had $1 million, not on paper, I'm talking actual assets, accumulative, you look at all of it, it shows $1 million. When I was in this scenario, I was about 23, right? The moment you spend $1, you're no longer a millionaire. You're no longer a millionaire. So I think I had put so much emphasis on being a millionaire when I was young. And then when you actually become a millionaire, it's not really about becoming a millionaire or staying a millionaire. The fucking name, working on my cousin. So bear with me. The name doesn't matter as much. Who you are when you obtain the status matters more than the status itself. So for me personally, I don't define rich by the amount of money I have. I define rich by, do I have a family? Do I have people that love me and cherish me? Do I have, hobbies and friends and things like that I cherish? And do I stay true to myself? Do I stay true to my values, the things that are important to me? That is what I define as rich. Now, if we're going to put a dollar amount on it, I don't disclose my finances on social media just because I've learned my lesson. So let's just put it like that. If you got into a trade in the morning, do you usually try to hold it till the end of the day or just 2 to 3 hours? It depends on the trade. If my targets are hit, a lot of times our targets get hit in the beginning of the day. So I don't need to sit in it all day. So let's say if I have 3 targets and all 3 targets are hit in the first 2 hours, perfect. I don't even want to look at the chart the rest of the day. But if it takes longer for the trade to play out, then I'll sit in it. Just depends. If I have runners though, I'll leave my runners for the whole day if need be. I'll leave the runners to run, New here, how do I start? What do you want to start with? Shout out to Valbias for enrolling at TSA as well. How many trades you take a week on average? 3 to 4. Really no more than 6 though. 3 to 5, that's my sweet spot. I like to make sure I'm taking less amount of trades though, just so I'm taking consistency in setups that I would consider A+. I don't think A+ setups happen every single day, but when they do happen, I try to execute on those days with precision. How long do you recommend studying before doing a first trade? No particular time frame. Honestly, you could paper trade while you're learning. That's what I would recommend, just to speed up the learning curve. When I hold till end of day, the Greeks are what make me lose value. Yeah, so if you're trading same days, you do want to try to get your profits in and out so you don't have to worry about the theta. But if the market is in a trend that whole day, the theta won't be as high as if your contract is in the money, the theta won't be as high because it's already in the money. If that makes sense. So if it's still moving in your direction, right, and your contract is in the money, the theta isn't eating at the contract so much because the delta and the gamma is a lot higher. What is your most used strategy? Just straight to Strat and smart money concepts. Do you focus on select amount of tickers? Yeah, I have a watch list. So my watch list like these are the main stocks that I'm really looking at, unless it's something else news related that pops up. But I have a watch list of about let me take this off. I have a watch list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17 stocks. And then I'll usually pull maybe 3 to 4 if there's any good setups on there. I'll pull like 3 to 4 of them. Sometimes it's only one though. It's like if I don't see a good setup, I don't need to trade just to trade. You know what I mean? Can I borrow $75 until I catch on? I wish. The only reason I don't do my community for free, like I have a free section of my community where you can just watch videos, just so people can still, you know, watch the videos that I do have, and they don't have to go through so many hoops to watch the video. So if you do want to, like if you're in here and you're like, I don't have $75 or I don't want to spend money on anything right now, you can still access the 8-hour course I have. It's 100% free. I can actually show y'all what it looks like right now. So at least you can access that. So if we come over here into beginners trading in stocks course, as you guys can see, this is 8 hours and 6 minutes long. And essentially you just basically click on this and then you'll be able to watch all of these videos immediately. So full A to Z trading and investing course, this is about an hour and a half long. And then how to trade options for beginners, how to read a candlestick for beginners, full walkthrough of setting up your charts, what is the strat, breaking down winning trades. And this is about 8 hours long. So you can pretty much watch all of this for 100% free. Is that link in the bio? It is in the bio. It's the third option in my bio, in my link tree. I heard running the demo is the best way to start out. Yeah, you can definitely do a test account or not a test account. What am I talking about? Paper trading account or a demo account. Do you trade in the money or out of the money? Most of the time I'm either at the money or out of the money. Unless I'm doing like a deep swing, I'll go in the money. But most of the time I'm either in the money or out of the money. I mean, at the money or out of the money. Sorry. Did you used to have a funded account? No, I never use any funded accounts. Not like I have something big against them. It's just I don't personally prefer to trade with other capital that isn't my own. Is all the videos you talking because I only understand the way you explain. Yes, all of my videos are me talking, but I'm glad that you know, the way I teach sticks and resonates with you guys. Where we at? We about 2 hours and 17 minutes in. Smooth. All right, remember y'all, tonight at midnight is when that link in my bio expires. Okay, we take all options as far as payment. So you use credit card, debit card, whatever. Do what is necessary for you that will help you feel like, you know, you're actually making a move forward in the right direction, you know. If we don't have any other questions, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to make dinner because it is already 6:30 and it's hella dark outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to make dinner. This is the perfect time for you to enroll into TSA if you haven't already. So again, the link is always in my bio. However, price will change back tonight at midnight. So you got about 5.5 hours to enroll. To think about it, ask a brother, ask a cousin, ask a sister, somebody to send you $75 to enroll, and then go from there. All right. What is your favorite and least favorite strat actionable signal? I do not like 2-1 setups. I do not like 2-1 setups. But my favorite setups are failed 2s and 3s. If you don't enjoy the group, can you exit and get a refund? Yes. If you don't like the group, we're open to refunding you your $75 when you enroll. So there's literally no risk when you check it out today. Let's say you join in tonight, $75. Let's say tomorrow you join the pre-market call and it's just not what you were looking for. You didn't like it. We'll just refund you tomorrow. Do you live trade? Yes. I trade live on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I might trade live tomorrow with y'all and with my Zoom. With my community as well. So we'll see. Depends on how I'm feeling. I need my voice to clear up first though. What stock do you trade the most? IWM and QQQ. Those are the ones I trade the most, literally. Hey, what up? What up, Jay? All right, y'all. That's pretty much it. If you haven't already, hit the follow button. Make sure you guys go ahead and do so. Holy shit. How do I join? I'm going to show y'all this one last time before I get out of here. So if you're in here and you want to enroll into TSA, which is, oh my gosh. Oh, that's crazy. So if you want to enroll into TSA, you want to come learn how to trade the strat, you want to understand gaps, order blocks, all that good stuff, and you like the way that I teach and it makes sense for you, what you want to go ahead and do, this is you right here on the live. Right now, you're going to go ahead and click on my profile. You're going to click on my account at the top right. You're going to go over to my profile. Once you get here, you're going to click the link tree that's in my bio, right? So there's a link that is right there. It says link tree. You're going to go ahead and click on that. Once you click on that, you're going to click the second option. It's like wobbling a little bit. It'll say come join TSA trading and investing group or something like that. 50% off for Cyber Monday. You want to go ahead and click on that option. When you click it, the page will pull up and you can pay with Apple Pay, or you can just click join and pay with a credit card or Cash App or whatever works for you. You got $75 a month, $997 for a year, $2,500 for lifetime access. All of these are discounted 50% off for Cyber Monday. So the $997 option, this is normally $2,000 for a year. For lifetime, it's normally $5K. Okay, so you can click join on the 75-month option or whatever option works best for you. You click join, you put your information in, and then you get immediate access. You'll get an email, and then you'll be able to get onboarded through our onboarding section inside of TSA. So does anyone have any questions on that before I get off? Thank you for your wisdom and time. Get well soon, friend. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate you, Nisha. Niche, thanks. Good evening, everyone. I appreciate you. Appreciate you for joining. Does anyone have any questions on that before I hop off? Gosh, bro, I need some tea. Yeah, I seen what you said. Put some tea in the tea and Halls in there. Yeah, I gotta do that right now. It's literally killing me, bro. Q-Trade using your phone, yeah. Shout out to Shamel for enrolling into TSA as well. Real quick, I'll do a quick roll call for those of you guys who are about to enroll into TSA. Comment me down below if you've already joined, and I'll shout you out real quick. How do you access the free videos? If you click the link in my bio, it's the third option. It'll say like free videos or free course. You click on that, you put your email in, and you get access to all of them. You get access to all of them. BMNR, please. Shout out to Trey for enrolling into TSA as well. Again, if you just enrolled into TSA, comment joined or I'm in down below, and I'll shout you guys out. All right. Yeah, 6:35. Actually, I need to hop off right now. All right, y'all. I'll be back.